Hello, everyone. Um, Hi. So you guys already know who I am. I am Danny. You guys know me as Toy Addict. And this is just a quick reminder that if you are a child under the age of 16, you shouldn't be watching the show. We say a lot of naughty things on the show. So viewer discretion. It's fucking Yo. Welcome to a brand new episode of A Worthy Addiction.
Yeah.
And you could have been anywhere on social media, but you decided to be with us tonight. Let me not waste any time and introduce to you guys my host. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the man who not only brings you the amazing UC No Justice collabs, but he is the man who will drop some pants quicker than the temperature will. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Unworthy Collector.
Thank you for such a warm and beautiful welcome. And
You're
as
welcome.
always, the co-host, my host of the show, he is the one that puts the thunder down under, Mr. Toy Addict 17.
Thank you.
This side of me tonight.
Yes, I am. And we have a special returning guest, and he's already family. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know him. He is the jack of all trades, but also he is the man with the stash. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Jedi Jack in the building. What is going on, fellas? Welcome, Jedi Jack. Once again, dude, how are you doing?
I'm good. Is everybody up there good? I know.
Oh, yeah. I'm living in the darkness tonight. If anybody can notice, my setup's a little different. I probably look a little bit better. Actually, my camera on my phone is probably a little bit better quality than my laptop. But we've been without power for about 4 hours up here in the north. And I'm rocking it off the cell phone. So any technical difficulties that goes on tonight, I can't control it.
Can't control it.
I can't do nothing. I'm here for the ride. I'm like a guest tonight. I can't mute nobody, nothing. I can't do anything.
There's no telling what will happen on this show.
We're off the rails already.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna fuck something up tonight.
Well, it's guaranteed.
It's guaranteed that I'm gonna fuck something up tonight. So
I think
for everybody,
you kind of already messed something up.
Oh yeah.
You forgot the no drugs. The drug talk thing, but you made up for it with that little intro. It was pretty
well.
nice.
You know what? I thought. Thank you. I thought it was appropriate. I mean, for everybody that's been watching, we're on that 18th episode, by the way. For everybody that's watching this show, you know we're not promoting drugs. We promote everything else but drugs in the show. But I thought it was appropriate and responsible of me as a host of this show to remind everyone that this is not a kid's show. So if your kids are up watching this show, shame on you.
Fuck out of here. Yeah, you're a bad parent. The kids shouldn't be watching this.
You should not be watching this. So, we're not monetized.
We say things like fuck and shit and
worse,
a whole bunch of other naughty words.
I've heard worse.
Dick and other stuff.
Wait till I get a few more of these White Claws pounded down into me. I'll really start bringing the colorful vocabulary.
Which brings you to our sponsor, Blue Chew.
There you go.
Yeah. You want to use your dick up? Use the promo code TOY17 on BlueChew.com, and you'll get 17 pills for free. And Danny advises you chew them all at once and go all week long, baby.
All week long. Absolutely. And for everybody that's watching again, you could have been anywhere on social media. You could have been watching any other show. You could have been watching reruns, but you chose to be with us tonight, and we thank you. With that being said, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do so at this moment. Hit the notification bell for more content, or
Alternatively, don't do any of those fucking things. Danny seems to be thinking that that's really important, and he really wants you to do that every week. And I'm here to tell you, I don't fucking care if you do or not. I'm gonna be here again next Thursday. Power, no power, rain, hail, sleet, snow. I'm like fucking mail service. I'll be here whether you want me here or not.
Regardless of anything, we're still gonna be here. So yes, but other than that, fellas, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week, and let me start off with and I mentioned this on one of the chats today. So I actually was up to like 2 a.m. yesterday. Reason being is because I was hearing this screech. We had a home
invader, really, if you think about it.
We had a home invader. So there was a screeching noise, and it was coming from the living room. And it was a screeching noise. I couldn't put I couldn't think of what it was or anything like that. So, I asked my son, I was like, hey, you hear that noise?
It wasn't the typical screeching noises that he hears at his house at 4 a.m. It was 1 or 2 a.m. It wasn't a typical screeching noise.
And if there was any if there's any screeching noises, it's probably me doing them. But there was a screeching noise. It was like this, it sounded kind of like a beeping noise. It was weird. And then, I asked my son, what the hell, I was like, what is that? Do you hear that? So I thought it was like something like maybe a car or like a toy or something one of my other kids left around. I was like, what the hell is that noise? So then he points out, I was like, oh, Dad, it sounds like a cricket. I was like, a cricket? I was like, okay. So we open the door and we don't hear it, but we keep hearing this noise. But every time we hear this noise, the noise stops instantly.
Well,
so
yeah,
I'm like,
you're probably standing right over it.
So I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Step in.
So we moved a couple of things around. Jedi Jack, we moved a couple of things around. We're moving things around. We can't find the shit. So I was like, all right, whatever. So it's probably outside. Let me just leave it alone. But it just sounds so close. So here I am. I'm laying down, and this noise just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And I'm sitting on my phone. I'm trying to doze off, but I keep hearing this fucking noise, and it's annoying as shit. At one point, I dozed off for a little bit. And then the noise was what woke me up. Like, I was like, fuck, I'm still hearing this noise. So I ended up moving things around and shit. And in my head, I'm like, I got to find this fucking thing because I got to be to work at 7 a.m. And I get up at 6 o'clock.
Either got to find this fucking cricket or burn my house down.
Yeah, seriously. So the shit had me like frustrated as shit. So I'm looking for this little fucker and I can't find him. And all of a sudden, I move one of my extreme set boxes that I have right here in the corner, and I move it, and lo and behold, here comes the little fucker. He's like crawling on top of the box. So I swat it real quick, and that's when I took my revenge on that little fucker. I took my fucking crock, and I just wailed on his ass, and I left nothing left. There was nothing left of that fucker.
I'm surprised you didn't get a little Scotch tape out and tape them down and start plucking pieces of them off. Like, where's the rest of your friends? You got any friends in here? And then yank a leg off.
I think the worst part is the way I made it seem. I made it seem like it was like an intruder, like a real intruder, like somebody broke in my house, and I got into this big old John Wick type fight with this fucker.
God
and I
forbid your house ever gets broken into for real. Like, yeah, what if it was Calvin sneaking in? Are you gonna fucking whip them with a chocolate?
Right, seriously, right? I made it seem like it was like the fucking craziest fucking thing in the world, and it really wasn't. It wasn't shit. But that was my night last night. That's what I had to fucking deal with, the fucking cricket. I mean, we live around the woods anyway, so that's all we get is like spiders, bugs, and there's just fucking raccoons and possums and all this other shit. But it was weird as hell. Like, I had to deal with that. Have you guys ever had to deal with anything? I mean, I know you live in the woods somewhere. Jedi Jack, do you deal with any of this shit all the time?
Dude, I'm in Florida. We're like one step down from Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
If there's not like alligators. If there's not alligators in your backyard, it's a freaking possum or a panther or a pack of coyotes or the damn palmetto bugs are about this big.
Right.
Yeah,
I got you.
There's 2 layers between New York and hell, and it's Florida and Australia.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So there's a couple of people in the chat. I want to shout them out because I did not forget about everybody in the chat. I'm definitely going to shout you out. So we're going to start off with my buddy, the real Bill in the house. What's up, dude? Have you saved Maggie? Had to save Cheddar Jack is back. There you go.
Little hook reference. I like it.
We got our friend Cobra Dad, everybody's favorite dad, who was just on a live with me. What's up, homie? What's up? We got our boy Raven's Eye Studio 21 in the
Raven?
house. Go check out our past episode with Raven. It was so fun. Awesome guy.
It was good. That was a good show.
Definitely had a great time with Raven.
Absolutely.
We got our boy JP Ryderich in the house. What's up, homie? Welcome.
What's up,
welcome.
JP?
We got everybody's favorite Rican, Blitz Figs, in the his house.
Figs.
What's up? What's up? Our homie Toy Art Unlimited. What's going on, dude? What's going on? Welcome. Bill says he get it.
So let me tell you a little story about this power outage, okay?
Okay, let's hear this.
It's not really a big deal for me. We lose power all the time here. We got all kinds of lanterns. We got candles. We're prepared. I'm a prepper. I'm prepared. And usually one of the first things I do when I know there's a storm coming is I am a very, very smart individual, and I know that we're still going to need to use the bathroom. So I go and I fill up my bathtub. In case I need to use the toilet, I can take the water out of the tub, fill the toilet up so I can still flush it, right? Well, I go in, the storm starts coming. I get an advisory, high wind advisory, possible power outages. So I go in my daughter's bathroom, and she's got a little bit bigger tub. I turn the water on. I stick the plug in there. And then I notice that there's a little soap scum in the bottom. And I know we're not going to drink this water, but it's still just like a compulsive thing. So I pulled the drain back out. I rinsed the freaking the soap scum out. And then I walk out of the room, and I'm sitting in the living room waiting for the tub to fill, And then finally, boom, power does come out. And I say, oh, well, we only got a little bit of time now before the well stops, because we're on a well. So it's gravity. It's going to stop feeding eventually. And so I'm like, oh, fuck, it's probably full enough. So I go in, shut the water off, and I realized at that point that I had not put the plug back in after I wiped the fucking soap scum out of there.
Okay.
So the water was running for a good, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes before we lost power. And then a good another 15 minutes after we lost power before I went in to shut it off and realized no fucking plug in it. So now, and of course, then my wife and my youngest son, they get home because my oldest boy and I, we were home already. My wife and my youngest son get home, and first thing everybody's got to do is go to the bathroom. And you try to tell the little boys, don't flush the toilet. If it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. It's fine. You don't need to waste it. None of them, not my wife neither. None of them listen. Flush the toilet. And now that bathroom's got no water in the toilet. We got no water.
Jesus.
It's like, listen, we hope this don't fucking stretch on for days, because I've got water barrels up in my garden.
Yeah.
Drag these fucking water barrels down to my house. People fill my my toilets back.
Well, I was gonna say that. Ain't you like you're like a nature guy. Like, I feel like if anything like that was to happen, I feel like you would be able to survive. I think you could handle it, right? Like, what would be
last winter we lost power on a Monday. We didn't get it back until Sunday. And I mean, we were fine. We had heat. We had, our oven is gas, so like we could still cook. And if it was getting a little chilly, we could open the door of the oven and heat the general area. We had little heaters in the bedrooms and stuff like that. We can make it. It's no big deal. It's when you can't flush the toilets and wash your ass. That's really the biggest problem.
Yeah. I know where you're coming from. I mean, we had a couple weeks ago, we just had the one hurricane come through here. But last year Ian hit us real hard, and I mean, we didn't have power for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And but luckily, like for the water situation, I got the pool, so I got plenty of water to fill the toilets back up and take a bath. I mean, you jump in the pool and do what you do.
Some little rinse,
and I usually keep a couple propane tanks on hand. Fire up the grill, and it's just pretty much a couple days of cooking out. I mean,
that's a big barbecue week. I love it.
Pretty much.
When we lost the power in the winter last year, like it was kind of weird how it happened, because like we had a whole bunch of snow, and then all the snow had melted, and then one night it just Sunday night it started snowing real heavy. We lost power in the night, so like it was one of those situations where we weren't expecting it. So I didn't have any, like the bathtub full. I didn't have none of that shit ready. But I still have water. I have water catchment barrels up in my garden to be able to water my garden and stuff. And, you know, so they're 2 55-gallon garbage cans, basically, black garbage cans that are full of water. And because we had those stretch of days where there was no snow and it's kind of warm before we got this snowstorm, like the barrels weren't frozen. So I was able to drag those fucking things down the hill, up my deck, and be able to fill up our toilets to be able to flush. And we could boil water on the stove if we had to, you know, give ourselves a little bath. But luckily we still have had a boy in diapers, so like we also have baby wipes. So it's like if you're not feeling a little fresh, you know, give yourself a little wipe down with some baby wipes.
Well, I will say that I feel I've named all my children after every like hurricane.
Yeah.
So anytime like I think that's where they were conceived during the hurricanes.
During hurricane
season,
your wife would get
scared. It would get dark. You know, it would get dark. That's the perfect opportunity. You know what I'm saying? If you're with your significant other and, you know, the kids are scared, you send them in a room, you send them with a candle or some flashlights. All right, guys, go play tag or go hang out in a room while me and mommy and daddy, we got to make sure that this power comes back. And then that's when you and your lady, you know, me and my lady, we used to like get in the room and that was it. You thought the storm was coming from the room.
Yeah.
And
hurricane babies.
Is this an earthquake or a hurricane? Why is everything shaking?
It's not even. It's a tropical storm. My punk ass. That 5 seconds of me thinking I was doing something. I wasn't shit. That wasn't even a fucking. That was like slush. That's not even like consider like a snowstorm. It's more like slush. But nothing really crazy has happened over here. Honestly, like this whole week has been like a heat wave. We've had a heat wave over here in Connecticut. So I think the plus for the kids were that they all have been dismissed early these last couple of days. So they all been out of school earlier than they were supposed to.
They just start school and get early dismissals because it's hot.
And that's where yes, COVID dad, Hurricane Jackhammer. That's you know, I like that. But like, yeah. I don't remember. And this is where my discussion question comes in, right? You guys remember growing up, right? And like
Vaguely.
we would have like, yeah. And you guys would have like snow days.
I think I'm still growing up sometimes.
Me too.
I'm getting there.
You know, we've had snow days and like, you know, we've had snow. It was snow days that we had. That was mostly the thing that we had was like snow days and then not including like the holidays or anything like that. But right, like when there was that was probably the only time I could remember being out of school. But even then, like during snow days, like I think the schools used to like still like they would do the 2-hour delay.
Oh yeah.
They would never like close or say, "Hey, we're gonna have a day off." Like these fucking kids nowadays, they get a fucking heat wave.
They don't close school until 2 buses would crash trying to get out of the bus garage.
Yeah. I mean,
like
there had to be like 3 feet, you know, outside of your door that you couldn't open your door before they would like, I think we'll delay school 45 minutes, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Give you a little time to shovel your driveway.
Yeah. I mean, dude, when I was a kid, like the space shuttle blew up, we still had school, you know?
Yeah.
All kinds of shit happened. They're like, nope, school's still on, you know?
Yeah. No. And it wasn't just with like weather, it was with anything. We had a pandemic. You still were going to school.
You better show up.
Like nowadays it's like
on Friday.
Like it was like a heat wave. Like it's funny because I have a friend of mine who her child was sent home early for a heat wave, but they still had like they had early football practice. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
you're in the school and you can't be at school, but you can go outside and play football. What the fuck?
I was like, who the fuck? I was like, who the hell who comes up with this shit? Like I was never like anytime I was sick.
The football coach, he's like, all right, listen, our team kind of sucks, so we need more practice and we need to start earlier. So we're gonna go over the superintendent and tell him he's got to close school because it's too hot.
Or it was more like, hey, we really fucking suck, and the actual team is letting us use the field for a few hours, so let's use the field so we can like practice. But like, yeah, back then it was like I don't remember like any like days that we would like miss. Like I said, if I was sick, I had to be like in vegetable like state. So for her to be like, and even then I'd be like, I think she would still send me. I think she would still send me.
I had to be coughing up like green phlegm.
Yeah.
Because if not,
No.
You're going.
Mom was not
I
sending
think it's a lot to say about the day and age that we grew up in too, because I remember being really, really sick and probably should have stayed home. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to school.
That's true.
I don't want to stay home. I don't want to stay home with my mother. I'm going to school. Now kids got all this technology. They're fucking happy staying home so they can be on their phone.
Right. I mean, so like, I think that bleeds over into like nowadays, like how often do you guys miss work because you're sick?
Not often.
Or you just be like, nah, I'm all right. I'll be fine.
I miss work just to be like, oh, I gotta take a photo. I really need to think about this photo. I want to take it. Let me stay home.
All right, fair enough. I left work 2 hours early to do this. So I mean,
there you go.
I missed a little bit of work last week because I had an unfortunate injury that I was dealing with. I could have worked, but boy, it was pretty terribly painful.
Did you hurt your teeth?
So here it is. You know, I'll give you the whole story.
I want to hear that. Yeah,
I basically had
what
amounts to a sprained testicle is what it really, when you think about when the doctor was trying to explain all of this, I had this whole cocktail conglomerate issue end up happening all at once, and he goes, just consider it that like essentially you sprained one of your testicles. That's kind of so what happened was I had a hernia, and I didn't know that I had a hernia because half of the pain that you have in a hernia is in your lower back, and I've always had back issues because I broke my back in 2009. So like I've always got mild pain in my back, so I ignore it half the time. So I had a hernia and I didn't know it. Well, then I got a bladder infection. And I didn't know, and I hadn't started showing signs for it, but my bladder had started to get inflamed. So anybody who's familiar with how a testicle works is you got the
I forgot.
Bit, you have the hangy bit, and then you have they call it epididymis. It's like the strand that it hangs off of. So
wait, what's that? What's the strand?
Testicle, epididymis. Okay.
I like the I just like the hand movement was very nice.
Because mine hang pretty low. So it's like the epididymis, right? So what was happening is my hernia was pushing on the backside of the epididymis, and then the bladder infection, because the swelling in my bladder had started to press on the front part of the epididymis. So essentially you got your epididymis, you know, you guys have testicles, you know how it works. You sneeze, they shrink, they pull up, they sag back down.
Give me a sec.
If it's cold, they shrink.
Yeah, I do.
They sag back down as they warm up. So basically, it's an involuntary thing. It happens all day. As a gentleman, your testicle, slides around all time on that. So with the bladder pinching it this way,
kind of like a stripper pole.
The hernia's pushing on it this way as it's trying to go up and down. It's getting like pinched. And basically, so then that starts swelling, which then means my nut about tripled in the size that it's supposed to be because it started swelling. And basically, I couldn't walk. I was walking around like I was on a saddle, like I have my legs spread way out. I couldn't pick nothing up. It was god awful painful. And I like 2 days in a row last week, I called my boss. I was like, I stuck it out as long as I can. Now I got to go home and put some ice on my balls.
So Raven says, I've been going to work with a torn. Oh, damn.
That ain't good either.
Stuff, yeah, that's not good, dude.
Raven grew up in an era where his mom sent him to school even when there was like the world's gonna end, just like us. He says, I'm 34 and I got a hernia after too much force when I was working. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the hernias are bad, and I didn't really even know that I had one.
Cobra Dad says, I'm 47 now, my balls hang up. Hey, you know what? Be proud of those hanging balls. Be proud of them.
Huevos.
With those huevos. No, I think, I'm happy you shared that story because Jedi Jack, I remember when he called me and was explaining this to me, I was a little concerned. Like, I was like, there were times where I even...
He said if I lived close enough, I'd come and I'd check it out for you and make sure it's not like cancer or anything like that.
Yeah, listen.
I could see him like, Yeah, that one is a little bit bigger than the
other. Seriously, like he had me fucking like. Then he like messaged me, Jedi Jack. He fucking messaged me. He tells me all this stuff, and then he's like, dude, like it's painful, and I'm like, dude, you need to go to like an urgent care. Like, go to the urgent care. Yeah. I know because he was set up with the doctor, but the doctor could only see him the next day, and I'm like, listen, go to the urgent care, go get it checked out, and then like that, you'll have two opinions. Get two different opinions from two different doctors, and just go check it out. So he goes and, he tells me, hey, he explains this whole thing to me. And I'm like, all right, well, go to your doctor tomorrow. So then the next fucking day, this guy, because he wants to give me a fucking heart attack, he's like, oh, my God. When he says something about like, oh, why does God wait till like throw the floodgates of fucking like he opens the floodgates of hell
until I'm down to kick me. He kicks me while I'm already down. And I'm like, all right, I get it, God. I get it.
He said that as I was praying on my way to work. I was on my way home praying. I was like, God, he didn't mean it. I promise he didn't mean it. We'll change our ways, I promise. But like he says this whole fucking message to me, Jack. And I'm like thinking I turned into his wife at that moment. I was his wife at that moment. I was like, oh dear God, no. I did the Wayne.
Not my baby.
not my baby. No, I turned into Wayne. Remember Wayne's World when he kept running into and seeing Wayne's World 2 when he kept seeing his girlfriend getting married and he's like, oh Jesus, dear God, no. That's all I can say. So I fucking call him and he's like not answer. I think you didn't answer the first time. Or did you answer?
I was having a conversation. That was I wasn't saying God was kicking me while I was down because of my health. It was because it was that. Plus, I had something else going on personally, and then he's trying to call me as I'm dealing with that.
Yeah,
as I'm laid out on my bed with my fucking ice pack on my
this guy did not answer. This fucking guy didn't answer the phone for me and like had me like in suspense. Like I was like, if you want to fucking really have my nerves going, like there you go. Like I am telling him go to the urgent care, go get yourself checked and all this shit. And then he sends this fucking message. He doesn't even explain why. So here I am. I call him. He answers the phone and he tells me what it is. I'm in my head. I'm like, but as he's laying there talking about some. Oh, yeah, I'm like laying here in front of the fan. I have a big pack of ice on my balls right now. I'm like, who does this? Only we do this. Like, I could only, like, and then it's crazy because, like, how do you explain to somebody, like that's around you and say, hey, who are you talking to? I was like, I'm talking to my buddy. He has a pack of ice in his balls right now. I'm just got a sprayed testicle. I'm trying to cheer him up right now.
That's what dudes talk about.
Yeah.
So you know what? And I just speaking of what dudes talk about, I want to give you everybody that's watching on replay, and you guys, my friends, I want to give you a little heads up that they don't tell you ever in your life, and I'm going to tell you right now. If you have a testicle injury, the only way that they can really check for sure is they have to do an ultrasound on your testicle. And I don't know if everybody who's had kids probably knows what an ultrasound is. It's a little wand deal.
I don't have any, so I don't know.
To take pictures of the baby inside of the woman's belly.
Okay.
They had to use that on my testicles.
Oh.
So it was the most uncomfortable thing. I'm sure this young lady that had to do this.
It wasn't the gentleman?
Ultrasound. No, it was a lady. It was a lady.
Okay.
She wasn't ready I'm sure she was not ready for having to ultrasound, because like as I was in the waiting room before I even figured anything out, they took two ladies in the back to do ultrasounds. So then they bring me in and I'm like, it's not a baby. So let me paint you a picture of how this works. She gives me two towels and they're rolled up. Mm-hmm. She goes, all right, what I need you to do is I'm going to leave the room. And you need to strip down everything from, waist down. She goes, I want you to get on the bed, pull the blanket up, to your knees or so you can still reach them. She goes, and then you need to take one towel and you need to pick your stuff up, lay the towel down across, and then put your stuff back on the towel. And then you take the other towel and you put it over your belly. And then pull the blanket up over you the rest of the way, and I'll come in, and then
88.
we'll start. And I was like, all right, cool. So I do exactly what she tells me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I lay down on the bed. I got my testicles on the fucking towel. I put the other towel, right? Well, then I pull the blanket up. She knocks. She says, are you ready? And I go, yep, I'm ready. And she puts on her gloves. She gets the wand thing, and she's squirting the gel on the wand. And she grabs the blanket, and she pulls the blanket down. She goes, oh, well, you did that wrong. And I was like, what do you mean? I did exactly what you said. She goes, no, you need to lay your penis up your belly and then cover that with the towel because I need that out of the way. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I did do that wrong. And she's got the wand and it's like dripping jelly, and she's like trying to cover her eyes while I rearrange as if this whole situation wasn't fucking awkward enough. She's dripping this jelly all down her arm and all over the fucking stuff. I'm like, this is fucking.
Wait a minute, what's the name of this movie?
Unworthy's Life.
Balls to the wall. Balls to the wall.
Is this on PornTube?
Yeah, you can catch it.
As she's like taking the ultrasound thing and like photoing my testicles, she's trying to make small talk with me. There's like, what do you do for a living? What kind of job do you have? And I'm just like looking straight up at this thing. And I was like, listen, I don't want to sound rude, but if it's all the same to you, can we just not talk? Like, if you need me to do something, or like if you have any directions for me, that's fine. You can tell me, but like, I don't really want to talk while this is going on. This has been terrible enough as it is. And that thing probing into my swollen testicle is not improving my mood. So can we just not talk?
The whole time she's like, so tell me a little bit about yourself. As she got the maracas going.
Unworthy, as bad as that sounds, that sounds way better than what you guys have coming down the road for you eventually when you get a doctor.
And what is that? And what is that?
While I was there.
And what is that, Jedi Jack? I want to know.
I would just take you through the first time I had to have it done. When you get to be of a certain age, they start making you do different kind of checks when you go to the doctor.
Oh yeah, I want to hear some of this one. I'm ready.
So,
I'm creeping right up on that age.
I had gotten a new doctor, and I hadn't had a physical in a while, and I needed to get it done. Went in, everything was great. I work out all the time. My diet's pretty good. My cholesterol was
welcome to
perfect.
Testicle Talk. Shoot,
Testicle Talk.
Testicle Talk. And it's
now
about
we're getting into prostates.
Yes. So, I go get this new doctor, and it's a female doctor, right? Nice lady, pretty good looking, well-to-do. She's got rings on her fingers and a big Rolex and all that shit, and we get all done with the exam, and I'm like, "Whoa, right?" She's like, "You're a specimen of health." I was like, "You're welcome." So I said, she's like, "There's just one more thing we got to do," and I was like, "Yeah, what's that? Do I got to sign some paperwork or something?" She's like, "No, go ahead and bend over." Excuse me? And she's like, "Oh wait, I have to go get my assistant." She didn't go
see this.
They didn't go get one person. They went and got like 3 people. Now, it's already an awkward thing, right?
Yeah.
You're up there, you got the gown on, and you're rather exposed, in a way that's not you're not used to as a man. Maybe some men are. I get it. That's your thing.
Hey. It wouldn't be the most exposing thing I've done in my life. I can tell you that.
So, but it got worse because one of the people she had come in was this young gentleman. I'm sure he was a really nice guy. And apparently, he was a bit taken with me.
Oh.
And
how could he not be?
And
come on.
And he started to stare lovingly into my eyes as he had his little checklist board. You had a little
like what kind of look was he giving? Just demonstrate the look.
Was he like mustache, chat.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a little flourish.
Mustache.
I'm sure he's a great guy. I got nothing that's I'm not talking negative about him. I'm talking about negative how I felt.
Okay.
And then I just feel this deep penetration.
It's pressure. Yeah, it's
of the and my first reaction was he forgot to take off her watch. You know, because that was exactly how it felt.
Oh.
And as I was putting claw marks into the drywall, you know, I'm looking back like, lady, where are you going with this? Like, I can feel you in my throat. It's just like, just checking, you know. And then I look back up and there's the
just fooling around in there.
And then they just walk out of the room, and you're just left standing there with jelly between your cheeks, and just feeling used and violated.
Where you put your pants back on? And
yeah, you
I wonder if
pull them up, and you just walk out of there with shame and just like, here's my card.
Well, listen. If I ever have to when that time comes, because I'm creeping up there. But when that time comes for me, I hope whatever doctor he is, I hope he looks like Derek Shepherd from Grey's Anatomy. I hope he's a handsome man. It's like I'll be the one to turn around and be like, be gentle. They're gonna stop and ask me, Mr. Toy Addict, Rolex or no Rolex?
I'm telling you, you've never had a fish shoved up there. You're in for a surprise.
No, I think the crazy is
so hypothetically speaking, if you have had a fish up there, it's not going to be a big deal.
It probably will be all right. I mean, you know, might even be enjoyable. I don't know.
I'm golden. I'm good.
Jesus. No, I
ain't worried at all now.
I don't. Oh my God, I don't even know if I'm prepared for something like that. I think the craziest experience I've ever had in a physical was I went to go, you know how you go to the regular physical and then they cup your whatever, you know, whatever's left there, and they tell you to cough, and like the lady giggled like when she said cough. She said cough, and I said ugh. And she said and I was like, I was taken back by it. It was kind of like the joke. Remember the joke I said to you, like when I think you were explaining to me about a person that worked there that knew you or something like that, and I'd messaged you, and I was like, they're gonna call and say, oh, I see what you mean. Like they're gonna talk about the size. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think honestly, I think
originally my doctor, I live in a small town, and like my doctor, we know the doctor and the nurses, and like they're friends of friends, and like my buddy's wife is the one that has to do the ultrasounds. I was like, this is gonna be fucking terrible because my buddy's wife's gonna have to do ultrasound on my nuts. But then I was able to skip it because I went to the urgent care instead.
Well,
they were worried because they were like, if you have torsion, that's an emergency surgery. Like, we got to take you right in because like your stuff gets all knotted, and they're like, we got to take you in for emergency surgery if it's that. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to explain this to my bosses? I went into I didn't tell them what I was going to the doctor for. Now I'm going to have to call and be like, hey, sorry, but I'm having emergency surgery on my nutsack. I'm not going to be in for a few days.
Honestly, like I think, and I had a situation like that where they thought that's what it was. I was at work and like I was having similar pain, so I end up at the doctor. So then I'm waiting at the in the room, and then one of the male nurses walked in, and he's like, "Hey, I want to check and see. The doctor's gonna come see you." So he's, and I'm like, he wants to examine me, but then I'm like, I get into my like uncomfortable face. I was like, hey, listen, like
you get into Macho
us,
Danny.
Macho Danny kicks in. I'm like, hey, listen, between me and you, like, no offense, like, is there any way you could get like maybe one of the ladies to do it? as perverted as that sounds, right? Because that sounds really bad. That doesn't sound macho at all. It sounds perverted. Someone's like, can you get one of the ladies to it? Because I really don't feel comfortable with a man, kind of, you know. He's like, no, I understand. He was really nice, but he said, yeah, I understand, no problem. Yeah, I'll come back. So I'm watching him like as the curtain is like, and he's like walking and he's like looking, and I see that he really can't find nothing. I'm like, fuck. So then he comes back. He's like, hey, listen, I really couldn't find anything. I really want to get this done before the doctor walks in. I was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? Just go ahead. So he checks, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like singing a Daddy Yankee song or a Mark Anthony song in my head to kind of get my mind over. So I'm like thinking, I'm like, all right. So it's quick. So he's like, yeah. I was like, it was a little painful. So I was like, all right. So then he walks away, and he tells me, yeah, the doctor will be in. So then a couple of minutes, I want to say about 15, 20 minutes later, here comes the same nurse guy with this male doctor. And he's like, yeah, the doctor's here. He wants to check it. In my head, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I'm not going to ask for another lady. You sons of bitches had this plan the whole time. So then like he checks me and stuff like that. So as I'm walking out, they check me and they tell me I'm fine. And they give me like ibuprofen for the pain because it was nothing, because they didn't think, because they explained the same thing. Like if it was something where they were twisted, they would have to do like emergency surgery. So as I'm walking out, I see the doctor and I'm like, hey, listen, just going to shoot my shot here, man. If you ever want to go have some drinks, you ever want to go out for drinks or something, hey, by all means, it'll be great.
See, I was the opposite. It was a male doctor, and I think if it had been a female doctor who came in, I'd have been like, "Can you go get one of the guys to do this?" Because like I don't need two ladies laughing at me when I take my pants off. Like it happens at home all the time. I don't need it happen here too.
Well, I'm glad you say that, right? I'm glad you said that. So now we all visited the hospital before. I work at a hospital, and there are times where the hospital there's certain parts in the hospital that get really, really cold, right? Like they crank up the AC. Now. Like you're going to the doctor. Yes, right.
They got to keep it cold in there.
Yeah, they got to keep it cold in there. So they, you're there, right? And like you're going for a physical, you're going into the room, and you have a nurse, doctor, or nurse lady, attractive woman. You don't think that, but she's attractive. She walks in, and it's really cold in there, and you're the man at home.
Turkey's done.
But at this moment. It's cold, so you know what happens when it gets cold. Yeah. So you get into that, you're
turtle
it's
power.
Like your tallywhacker revisits your childhood days.
Yeah.
Where it looks. So then she's like, yeah, all right, well, I gotta check you for a hernia and stuff like that. So that's always like the thing, right? Like you always think like, you gotta get undressed. She's checking you, and you're standing there, and the whole time it's like. Your whole time you're thinking, you're like, oh my God, she's like probably thinking she's probably like thinking like she probably isn't thinking that way because she's a professional. But like in your mind, because your self-esteem is so fucking low and you look, you feel like a piece of shit at that moment, you're like, damn, she probably thinks I'm a fucking pendejo at the moment, or like she's probably laughing inside, and he's and like it's worse when you know him, like, right? If it's somebody like you've seen before, it's like. What do you say? What, like, if I see you at the store, like, are you telling your friends, like, oh, I had him before? And I remember that guy. Remember that guy? Yeah, that was the guy I was telling you about. Remember during dinner? That was the guy that reminded you of the pinto beans that we had? Yeah, that's the guy right there. But,
see, I don't think that, I don't think I've ever really had to be worried. If I'm going to the doctor, this is the first time I've had to go to the doctors for my male parts, though. So, I wasn't really too concerned. I think if it had been a lady, I would have been like, no, thank you. Can you go get a guy? And also, it doesn't matter who it was. I was like, I don't want anybody to touch it because this thing is fucking ungodly swollen and it hurts. I can't walk. I can't sit. I don't want anybody touching it.
Well, on a serious note, if anybody watching this show, if you have any pain anywhere, please go see a doctor.
Check your testicles twice.
Check yourself. Like, seriously, listen, we're joking, but if you feel so, like, we're no way, shape, or form making fun of Unworthy, because he'll be the first one to tell you I was concerned. I was worried about him, and I thought I was gonna die. You're a little dramatic. They're a little too much. I thought you were. You know what? Fuck that. I thought you were gonna die.
No, but like, I mean, it's a good point, man. The little things that we tend to like overlook as guys sometimes can literally be the death of you, man.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I had no idea what a fucking hernia felt like. Like I had no idea what to be looking out for, and like here I am, my stubborn man self. I'm thinking, oh, it's just lower back pain because I got a bad back. I'll just keep working and keep lifting all this heavy equipment and do all the shit that I normally do that I should not be doing because I have a hernia.
Yeah. Seriously. So like we're not in any way, shape, or form making fun of anything like that. If you feel any discomfort or anything that's not the norm, go get yourself checked out. It's very important, especially if you got family, you got kids. It's very important. All right. That's a good segue because also, if you are ever at work, and this happens to men and women all the time, if you're ever at work and you're chafing, remember that, we've all been there where we've been at work, we've been, chafing. Yes. And it's been terrible, but just always remember that when your balls are lit, get ball stick. All right.
That's right. Trademark pending.
Trademark pending. So just remember, anytime your balls are feeling lit, get some ball stick, and it'll help you out.
I used to get stick all the time, but now with ball stick, I mean, I'm good.
Oh, so you tried the ball stick?
Yeah, I have, and I'm fresh all day long.
Another one.
Now, do you use a certain scent? Is there any scent, or is it not unscented?
I like the sandalwood.
Nice.
Sandalwood.
Yes.
Okay.
It's nice, woodsy, manly smell. Yeah.
Manly, and and it just lets things just glide.
Yes.
Okay. That's nice. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we could do like some for like every season, like maybe do like pumpkin spice scent like the fall, right? Get some pumpkin spice,
some cinnamon eggnog scent for Christmas.
Yeah, or some candy canes, and then maybe for like Three Kings Day, maybe we could do something for like Spanish Heritage Month, right? maybe you could Goya scent. Goya scent.
Put some Goya scented ball stick in gorditas.
All right.
Malta scented.
Yeah, Malta scented. Yeah. And then maybe for the birthday, we could do like birthday cake scent, stuff like that. Yeah, birthday cake scent, or things like that.
You going to the Bahamas, get a nice pina colada scent.
Yeah, for the summer. For the summer. Now for the 4th of, like, if it's like maybe for like Labor Day, it could smell like motor oil or like anything work related. Like I don't know.
Hey. Some of us don't mind smelling like motor oil.
Hey, but listen,
for
I agree.
Father's Day, we can have one that's called "Leave Me the
Smells like child support."
Child support. Go bother your mother. It's my one day this year. Go bother your mother.
All right. Oh my goodness, man, guys, today's a special day. So we usually have a round table question, and we usually like put the email down, and I'm gonna put the email up, the banner up so everybody could see it. But the email's here. Like, if you guys ever want to like reach out to us and ask a question, even a round table question, you can always email us at aworthyaddiction@gmail.com. It could be, we could showcase it either on the round table question, or we could showcase it on, whatever. So today I wanted to do something different. So I reached out to a couple folks, and and just said that, and we have fans. Believe it or not, Unworthy, we have fans. Jedi Jack, you have fans. You have fans.
I'm a fan of you guys. Look, I got to tell you, I love everybody's shows. I watch, the Pick Bar and Mercs and Skeleton's Closet and everybody I can, behind the plastic when I can catch everybody's stuff. And I'm not picking favorites, but I'm just saying I have the most fun watching your guys' show.
Oh, you know what?
We love hearing that.
We love hearing that.
And that's not a dig on anybody else. That's not a dig on anybody else's stuff. Everybody else does great stuff, and they all have their own niche. But I would say if you're going to pick the fun one, it's this show.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot, and that means a lot to us. Again, we love all shows, and like, again, when we started this show, we wanted it to be more. You see how it goes. This is supposed to be a hobby show. And we were talking about testicles for a whole almost an hour,
45 minutes,
45 minutes of just testicle talk. You believe that shit? Like, what other show does that? But like, very, very Yeah, absolutely. Like, I appreciate that, Jedi Jack. But like I was
Yeah,
telling you
thank you.
guys, like we have fans, and I reached out to a couple people, and so we have an account, and the gentleman he decided he wanted to come on and basically tell us how much he loved us, and you know, I told him I would give him the opportunity. So not sure if he's here, but I'm going to hopefully click him on. Well, it's not going through.
Jack, go get me a beer.
Well, maybe he's not backstage. He was backstage, but we'll get him going here. But yeah, we'll work that out. We're having technical difficulties, but we'll get him on. But other than that,
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead,
Mr. Unworthy.
Mhm.
How did you like your delivery you received this week?
I loved it. Actually, I was trying to get Danny to put up some pictures of it. I was gonna put some pictures up with no power. I can't get my laptop.
Yeah, I
working,
get it.
I absolutely love it. I've got about 1 million picture ideas that I'm doing. I'm gonna do with it, and I was completely blown away. I know that you had told me that you were nervous because you never had done a dio where the person that you're sending it to had like no input, like just kind of gave you some ideas and said, "I trust you, knock it out the park," and you did not fail to deliver. I've been showing this thing off to anybody that will look at it. I've been showing it off in the Hoodcast chat. I've been showing it off in the Tuscan Traders chat, the Rowdy Boyz chat, obviously. And I cannot wait to get some pictures out with this thing. It was amazing. You knocked it out of the park, went above and beyond what I even expected. Like in my wildest dreams, I did not expect what I got. Basically, there was so much packed into this that I was just completely blown away.
Good. I mean, I know it took a little while, and some of it was I'd start some parts of it and things didn't go the way I wanted, and I'd have to like kind of redo it, and then like I said, I had to I got some of the other things like 3D printed because I wanted you to have real nice accessories with it. And
yeah, absolutely. The I don't know if Danny got any of the pictures pulled up.
Yes, I actually do. I want to definitely showcase some of this stuff. So for everybody that does not know, we've had Jedi Jack on one of our episodes in the past, and Jedi Jack is a dial maker. He's also a toy photographer, but outstanding fella. And when I tell you this man does phenomenal dials, he does phenomenal dioramas. And he actually did one for Unworthy, who was really awesome. Like he graced me with the photos of him because he was showing them to me, and I was like, I had to swear to secrecy that I would never tell. And I was was
telling me how he's seen him. I was like, if you start telling me anything, I'll hang
up.
No.
I would never. I thought if anything, I was super excited for you because I knew that you were gonna get the same feeling I got when I got my dial. So yeah, so I'm gonna showcase a couple of the photos.
Yes.
What was it that Raven says? I have a Jedi Jack. There you go. Yes. If you guys are not following Jedi Jack, go check him out. Go check his page out. He definitely has some amazing work. I will tell you hands down, like his stuff is amazing. I actually found out about Jedi Jack through Path the Collector. Shout out to Path. This guy is freaking amazing. And one of the things that he does is he really thinks of the artist and the toy photographer when he does these when he does his dials. Like, and my thing was always like, let Jedi Jack go. Let him free. Just let him off his cage and let him roam. And when he does, I'm telling you, he kicks so much fucking ass.
And I took it to heart. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give him a couple vague ideas of what I might want, and then I'm gonna let him do it. And I don't want to know a damn thing until I get it. And that's what happens.
It's I think the only like limitation you gave me was size, and I perfectly understood that part where it's like I only got so much room, man. Because dude, if you'd have saw what I had first laid out, that thing would have been like 3 feet tall and like multiple levels. It would have probably cost like $300 to ship it to you. I mean, I was gonna have
Those are the next few building phases as I get my space set up for shooting. Those are the next few phases going into this.
I kind of tried to do that, and so that we could add on to it easily. I mean, I think you remember early on where I asked you, I was like, "How big's that Batmobile?"
Yeah,
because I was like, if I can make it big enough for that thing to park in there, I'll be happy with that, And I think you can kind of fit at least some of it in there, get a good couple shots.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I agree.
But
I have a couple of photos of this dial that actually Jedi Jack you sent to me, so I kind of want to showcase them. And forgive me, I might cover you, but you guys will be able to see it. So first one is this. He did the computer, which is really, really cool. Before like our guest is in the back, do you guys want to call? Because I wanted our guest to kind of just say hi to us. Yeah, if you guys don't mind, we'll touch back. So we're gonna present our first guest. He a fan of the show. Again, I'm trying something new. As you can see at the beginning of the show, I just want to try something new, and I'm just gonna let him express himself and let us know how he feels. So, guest, are you there?
Oh boy, am I ever here? Oh, am I here?
Oh boy,
I'm here, fellas.
Boy.
Actually, oh boy, am I ever happy to be here. Not only do I have the sexy Kevin, but I got Danny, and now I got Jack, Jedi Jack. Oh, that's like the trifecta. Oh yeah. So what I was wondering, fellas, was Toy Addict, where's your key? Because I'm outside your house right now. And I'm trying to find the key under the mat, but it's not like where you said it would be. Oh
Lord, Calvin, can you hear me clearly, Calvin? Calvin, are you all ears? Calvin, listen, we spoke. I listen. First of all, I didn't know this was gonna be fucking you on here. Okay, so we had an agreement. Listen, we had an agreement that I would drop all the charges, Calvin. And that we would still be friends. But Calvin, we talked about this. We can't just show up at my house asking for keys.
I'm all lubed up with the butter that you sent me, and I'm ready to be.
You fucking sent him butter?
Yeah,
I did not send Calvin butter. Calvin.
Well, somebody sent me a keg of Country Crock, and I think it was you.
Oh, Calvin, listen. Calvin, do you have anything nice to say about the show besides the butter?
What couldn't I say? You guys are amazing. You talk about really cool things, and you're both really sexy. And old Kevin, man, he even comes out in a fucking thunderstorm. I mean, what more could you ask for from a host? And then you bring on great guests like Jedi Jack, who's kind of making me reconsider. Oh yeah. Well,
Calvin, I appreciate the love, but Calvin, again, I'm really trying, Calvin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, again,
well, you're not trying hard enough. This baby ain't gonna make itself, Danny.
Calvin, is there anything else you would like to say, Calvin? Because again, I thought, listen, Calvin, I told you before, I do not mind you as a friend. I will build a friendship with you. But as far as giving you a baby and being your sex slave and all that shit, I can't do that, Calvin.
Come on. If I show up in your bedroom in a pair of Crocs and some Country Crock, you're going to change your mind.
Calvin.
Wow. I bet you do. I bet you changed your mind in a fucking hurry, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Kevin knows, he's been there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So how do you think Calvin got your number?
How big of a tub of Country Crock are we talking?
Well, I don't know. I would say on an estimate, this thing probably costs $400 or $500. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a lot of butter.
It's a lot of butter, but I'm a lot of good guy. You know what I mean? Like, I got a lot of muscles, if you know what I mean, like gut muscles and butt muscles. I got a lot of it. But really, I know he really wants to see my stink wrinkle.
Oh my God.
Calvin, I'm gonna ask you nicely, okay? I
Show 'em the balloon
understand. I understand that we could get a little raunchy on the show, but Calvin, I'm trying here, Calvin. Like I gave you, I gave you an opportunity. I gave you.
I'm so sorry. You do it to me though. It's that bald head, and then every week they put that sexy bald head on a different body, and I'm building a collage on my room.
All right, Calvin. Calvin. When you first jumped on, you told me you were outside. Where are you outside?
I'm right outside of your apartment, trying to find the key, but it's not under the. Oh, fuck! That's the cactus.
You told him the apartment, not the house. That was smart. That was smart.
Yeah. I know where he keeps his good stuff, and it's not at the house. It's in the apartment.
Oh, Lord. Well, Calvin, listen. I'm going to ask you nicely, Calvin. And listen, we could still be friends, Calvin, but I'm going to ask you to please leave my property because, unfortunately, I'm going to have to call the authorities on you. And I don't want to, Calvin. Again, I already have this restraining order. Well, you don't want to know this. Time out. You guys don't know the shit I have to do.
All you want to do is call the love police.
The love police. No, I don't. Calvin, I'm trying. For everybody that's on here, I'm trying with Calvin. I dropped all the charges. All I asked Calvin to do was be respectful. I didn't even fucking know Calvin was going to come on tonight. I opened the community up to come on.
And that butter, sir, that was an invitation if I've ever seen one.
Calvin, I did not send you the butter.
Yeah,
Take that back.
Oh, boy.
Danny, listen, it sounds to me like you're kind of fucking leading Calvin on a little bit. And really ought to be
I am
ashamed.
not. I am not.
I know what he really wants. He's just afraid to admit it.
I am not afraid to admit anything that does not exist, Calvin. So
okay.
Please stop. All right. Well,
I can't quit, but you have a good time, and I'm going to keep trying to get in here. This window looks like it might be open a little, so I'm going to give that a try.
Just use the country crock, lube it all up.
Yes, exactly. I should be able to slide right in like a 400-pound sausage.
And it sounds like that tub of country crock is heavy enough that if that window won't open, you can probably just blow it out just throw the country crock right through it. You'll get in.
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah, but I don't want to do.
Which fucking side are you on? Are you on my side here? Like, what's going on?
I don't want to get arrested. I don't really want to get arrested.
Chat, are you on Toy Addict side or are we on Calvin's side here? Come on now, somebody help me out here.
I mean,
Dr. Calvin.
Hey, love is love.
Yes,
that's right.
And I'm gonna get a baby out of it.
Well, Calvin, it was nice talking to you, Calvin. I hope you go home safely, and thank you for coming on. And please leave my property, Calvin. Please.
I already called the Duber.
The Duber, okay. All right, Calvin. You have a great night, Calvin.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Calvin.
I'm on Team Calvin, damn it.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry about that, guys. I didn't.
Boy, it's got
I opened the freaking. This is what happens when you send an email out and you try something new. I really wanted to get someone on here. I didn't expect to get him on here. I've been trying.
I feel like this was a win. I think you and Calvin are one step closer to working out whatever it is that and really, Danny, I think that you ought to be ashamed a little bit for leading Calvin on. I mean,
I'm not leading Calvin on.
Why send him a tub of butter if
I did not send Calvin
a little bit of fucking toast breaded going on?
I did not send Calvin a tub of butter. I did not tell Calvin to come to my place, and I didn't even know Calvin was gonna jump on here. Okay, so Calvin, please, if you're watching, please, I'm trying, Calvin. I really am. I don't want to go through with anything.
Well,
all right. So,
I'm on Team Calvin, and I actually just did get the Duber notification, Calvin. I'll be there to pick you up after the show.
Oh Lord. Well,
I'll give you a ride home safe since this asshole won't.
I'm the bad guy now. Well, back to Jedi Jack. All right, we're gonna go back to these photos because we want to talk about these photos here, and let me get these comments out of here real quick. And let's go back to these photos and talk about some of these photos of this amazing dial. All right. So first thing, talk us a little bit about this right here. What was the process of doing this right here?
So when I was thinking like the initial design and setup, Unworthy had asked for, you know, he wanted a bat cave, and he wanted to have it have some dual use, so it could. I'm not that familiar with DC, but it was the Batman Who Laughs, I think. So it has a little bit more castle stuff. So I wanted to make sure that it could be used both ways. So when I started thinking like, you know, Batcave stuff, and like once we got kind of down to about the size we were going to work, I had to like, there's so many different versions, you know, of and interpretations of the Batcave.
Okay.
And I think I tried to like come up with my own version slightly, you know, and my idea or my thinking, my approach for design was that Batman's pretty, he's not into like frills kind of thing. Like everything's going to be like very purpose stuff.
Easily
so like,
utilized.
Yeah. It's going to be like, you know, quick, clean, you know, and so I was trying to do that without like cluttering up the whole dial. I didn't want it to have like all kinds of stuff in there. You know, I figured like he's going to have a spot to work, you know, and, you know, like the floor is going to look like this and it's going to be pristine. And, you know, and so it was just, I was trying to just come up with something like that. But I wanted to make sure it had like, I wanted to make that riser so that way you could slide that in and, you know, get some good uplighting and stuff like that for like some dramatic effect. And like with on the rock formations and stuff on all the walls, you know, I looked at Unworthy shots, and a lot of times he does like some closer up photos. A lot of times although he's been killing some like longer shots lately. You did there was one you did I think last week that I was like, dude, it's freaking badass. But so I looked at like his style, so I wanted to make sure like the walls had like really interesting texture. So that way in the background it just wasn't like
bring it back up.
Flat,
yeah.
You know, I wanted to have some different looks to it. So I did like a bunch of different things, from like, you know, cutting and carving pieces on to like carving, you know, lower detentions to putting other stuff on to give it more texture. And then, I don't know if you could tell Unworthy, but like there's probably like 5 different colors on that rock.
No, it is perfectly painted as far as like how a cave wall would look. You know, like there's the shinier parts where like, you know, it's a cave, so it might be a little damp, a little wet. And then there's like, you know, where the drier spots would be, and it's, you know, if you look at a piece of rock, especially like one that's like chiseled out or carved out, it, you know, there's different colors. It's like layering of colors inside these rocks, and like the whole interior of this Batcave dial, it looks like it was carved out of, you know, there, you know, he carved sections out of it to be like the cave, you know.
One of the things that I love the most about the work that you do, and I've said this many times, is that the attention to detail that you do with the attention to detail and all the are we not having a Calvin takeover here? Thought we were having a Calvin takeover. But no, the attention to detail that you put into your work, right? So like when I saw this, when I was seeing it at first, I was like, shit, like it's just like adding, like I'll go back to it just to kind of like, you know, adding like the photos and stuff on the monitors and you know, all this other stuff, and just like how the light is coming from under, and like, and then the way you add sections into dials where you could put, like, that's one of the things you talk to me about a lot too, is like you try to make it where you think like a photographer, so you try to like add certain parts where, you know, you could add light to like certain areas, right? So like that's one of the things that I admire so much about your work. But we have some more stuff coming up. Like we have this right here. Was this part of where the computer thing is?
Yeah. So what I did with this is the floor for the entire piece flips over and looks completely different, and then there's a separate piece that goes on that back wall to give it more of like a block kind of thing. This way you could change up how it looks. You know, this way you get a little bit more use out of it too, you know. And you know, and every piece, you know, kind of comes out, and this way you could, you decorate it any way you want. You could, I tried to give as many options as possible with it.
Yeah.
Still have it look like, be easily recognizable as the Batcave.
Mhm.
And I just
with the floor
it's scary
being
'cause I want him to-
reversible, with the floor
Go
being
ahead.
reversible too, like this side that's showing here, it looks more like the castle type, like for the Batman Who Laughs, like the castle type flooring where it's chiseled or carved out, or big paver stones or whatever. And then the flip side of it is it looks more tile, it's shiny tile, which would look more like the mansion-esque style Batcave that like Bruce Wayne would have. Like it's incredible.
Well, good, man. It was like I said, man, I was really nervous because like you not seeing any of it, and I was just like, man, I hope he likes it. And I even told him, but in all honesty, I told him wordly, I was like, dude, if you open it and don't like it, tell me. Like tell me.
And that's the thing, that like kills me. It's like I was on a live. I always do my pre-Madonna lives before the show starts, and I had Cobra Dad and Mikey TV from Hookcast on, and we were talking about your dials. I was mentioning how you were going to be, and they were saying how the diorama that they made for the Batcave, it was like they was fucking, because I'm worthy like showcasing on some of the chats and how great it was, and I was telling the guys, I was like, listen, if you guys invest. If you guys decide that you want to, like, you will not be disappointed, because the level of creativity and the level of detail you're gonna get in that dial, it's gonna mean I'm telling you, it's gonna be a whole nother level to your photos. So again, like when I got my dial, it was just like, I'm telling you, like it was like I was finding every piece of that dial to utilize. Like that's the great thing about it. It's like it's not just one section, it's like many sections, right? So like when you were showing me the Batcave and stuff like that, and you were telling me, it's like, oh, I really hope he likes it. And in my head, I'm like, I fucking like it. I was like, I kind of want it. I kind of want one too. So, but it's a beautiful piece, dude. Like, and we have some more now. We have here's a close up photo of the monitors, which is pretty cool. Again, just adding the photos of, like, is that Oracle on that photo?
I think it's like a reporter, because it says
that was like a reporter.
Yeah.
It was like Gotham City News. I think if you went in, and then it's got the what's her face from the trilogy of movies. I can't remember her name, but I tried to give as much like different stuff like on there as possible, like have it, have some cool details and stuff.
Yeah.
And like the base that you can't see, the base was in the other picture, but the base has like a palm scanner, palm reader.
Yeah.
It's got levers and switches, and it's immaculate. Like I can't even tell you how amazing this thing was. Like this was not something I was expecting. Like because I gave him very, very vague, like. I don't know, something sort of like this. Oh shit, my lights died. So when I opened it up and I saw there was like the little box that the computer module was in, I was like, well, I wonder what this is. And I opened it up, I was like, holy shit, it's a whole fucking computer bank.
Yeah. Yep. And then we have some shots of the Batcave itself with some of the rock kind of hanging down, like where the bats kind of hang. That's pretty dope, man. That's fucking sick. And all these last three shots are kind of like the same photo. They're just different angles. So you get this angle right here, and then you get this, frontwards angle.
Yeah, and there's the other side of the floor.
Yep.
And that's
the other side of
and
the
some of that
it's more polished looking.
Yeah, and some of that I don't even think had all the paint on it. I think I went back and did some more stuff. And I wanted that ceiling I wanted it to feel like a cave. I wanted to make sure that he could put that together and it felt like a cave.
It definitely does.
Bill has a great like idea, and I didn't. He kind of did that for me and my dial, but I think he would really kill it.
Oh
The
yeah,
Jedi can make a bathroom so yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Telling you, he's a jack of all trades. This dude right here, and he does toy photography, and he fucking kills that too. He does a great job with that too. So
I'm
here's
kind of excited. I know we're all drooling all over this, and I greatly appreciate it. And
yeah,
the thing that sucks about making the dials is like you're always on to the next one, like the next 2 or 3, and like I got I just did a bunch of props for Mr. Tartella.
Oh yeah.
And I got to get those sent out for him. I did like a water tower and a
oh nice.
He wanted like a rooftop like AC unit.
Oh, cool.
And stuff like so. I did that, and we did some stuff. But Thor, June wanted gave me a great idea, and I'm glad you made it safe. Good, you landed safely. Thank you.
There you go.
Now just get to your hotel safely and let me know when you're there.
There you go.
Thor gave me a he came to me and he's like, dude, he goes, I finally came up with something I want. He's like, I need streets and sidewalks to put my buildings on. So what I'm working on, and it's about 70% done, is just a bunch of street sections and sidewalk sections that can be arranged in multiple ways. So we can have like one long street, you can have like 2 sides, you can have a T, you can have a an intersection, like a 4-way stop. All the pieces of pavement and the pieces of sidewalk are reversible, so there's damage on one side and then the other side looks fine. So if you want to do like a battle scene and have some damage spots, it's going to have a manhole cover in it in case he wants to do some like turtle stuff. And the manhole cover will pop out and everything. It should be pretty cool.
So how many like, just to kind of like, how many dials do you have down the pipeline right in the works right now? Like after you just finished this one, how many do you have like down right now?
I got one that's 70% done. One that's about 20% in. It's cut and the pieces are starting to be carved. One design that just got approved today. And I got somebody else that's waiting on a design for me to draw up. Damn. So, and I try to give people leeway. Like I'll do it now, or like just be advised. Like it's going to be a little bit. I mean, if I can do this all day long, it'd be one thing, but I still got to go to work. And
no, of course,
yeah.
And
and that's why every time you were like, "Oh, I'm working on it," I'm still working on it. I'm sorry. I'm like, don't apologize to me.
No, not at all. And also too, like for all those who want, like I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody that's watching this, if you are not following Jedi Jack, go follow him right now. Go check out his work. He has
first of all, if you're not following Jedi Jack, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Go follow him now.
Shame on you. Because I think Calvin's even following him now because he was like gouging over you the whole time. But like what? It's making a lot more sense. That's why you brought Calvin on tonight, is because Jedi Jack was going to be here. And you're like, I got to take the heat off of me. I'm going to introduce him to somebody even more charming and handsome. I tried. I really tried.
We see your games. Send him a tub of country crock, and see how you are.
But like, so everybody that's watching this, like, go check out his page. And let me tell you, like, one of the things that me and Unworthy kind of did similar is, we let you kind of just do your thing. It's like, hey, this is like some reference photos. This is, kind of what I have an idea of, but you have free range. You do what you got to do. I believe Unworthy, you said that you didn't want to see anything. You didn't want to see nothing. I didn't do that. I got to see the process happening. But I applaud you for that. This is sort of what I'm looking for. I'd like something like this. If you can make it dual purpose, so it's like something like this, and then also maybe something like this. I got faith in you, and then that's it. I don't want to see no. So when you say like you get designs approved or whatever, like
that's got to be more stressful for the way that I put you through it. Like I feel bad for the way that I put you through it. I was like, don't tell me nothing. I want to be completely surprised.
But it was fun though. I mean, it still was fun because, like Danny says, it gave me even more creative freedom because it was just like I had to make it for me. You know, at that point, like I took your ideas, but at the same time, I had to be like, well, I kind of think this looks cool. You know, I hope he will. You know,
yeah. And when I tell you, when he was sending me the photos and just like showing me, I was gouging over the fucking dial, and I was like, damn, that thing is so. But again, I knew that by experience and having a dial already, I knew that the level of creativity and everything, all the details, everything that you wanted was gonna come to light because again, this guy doesn't miss. He's like me, and he's like a version. What I did with my ex-wife, this man does with dials. I never missed. So I never missed.
Do you have one of the pictures of the elevator?
I do not, but I could probably try to pull it out real quick. Try to get it done. I don't have that one.
Emily's right. Packing that thing into that box, it was like Tetris. It took us like 20 times.
When this box showed up, this box was huge. I was like, oh my God, this I was like, that was my first thing when I seen the box. I was like, oh my God, this is way bigger than I was expecting it to be. Because the box was so big. I was like, oh man, I am not going to have a place to put this. And then it went from, I'm not going to have a place to put this to as I'm opening it and I'm like, okay, he's just got it real packed in there. And to attest to how like taken I was by it immediately, I had everything set up. I was going to record the whole thing. So it's like, as I'm cutting the tape, I had everything set up, and then I cut the tape on the top. I open it, and then I'm like starting to pull the bubble wrap off, and I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, I'm getting into it, and I'm starting to like trying to see if I could figure out how to put it together. And then that's when I had texted you. I was like, go ahead and send me the thing so that I know how to put it together. And then as I put my phone back down from texting, I was like, oh my God, I never even fucking started recording this. This is how I fucking blew myself away by opening it up.
The worst part was he's like, I'm going to start opening it now. I'm like, okay. So I sent him some photos. I was like, here you go. Here's the stuff to go by. And like time goes by and he makes no response. I'm like, dude, do you hate it? Do you like it? You know?
You're leaving me in suspense here. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I even asked you. I got it mostly figured out. I've been messing around. I already had figures in it and stuff before I even thought to text you back.
Well, I mean, you're
check your messages.
Well, you're freaking notorious for leaving people with a suspense. Just, go back to the ball situation, the testicle situation. Left me in suspense.
As I was saying, as I'm opening, I'm like, as I'm looking at the box at first, I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to have room for this. Like, this is way bigger than I was expecting. I'm not going to have room for this. I'm going to have to explain to my wife why I got to get rid of her fucking makeup counter because like I'm going to need all this room. And then it went from that to very quickly as I'm pulling out pieces and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't afford this. Oh my God, I can't afford this. And then I pulled the suit, the costume cache or the uniform cache or whatever. It looks like it's like the big dome that Batman would hang his uniform in. So like there's that. The photographer in him was thinking about it. He wants a suited or a non-suited version of Batman, Bruce Wayne, looking at his suit in the thing. And I'm like, as I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh my God, I can't afford this. This was more than I was expecting. I can't afford this. I'm like putting the elevator together. I'm like, I can't afford this. And then I open up the box and I see the fucking computer and I'm like, oh my God, I can't afford this. I cannot afford this.
Cannot afford this. Now I have a photo of the elevator. I'm not sure if this is the one you wanted to see, but this is the one, right?
Well, that's
the suit cache.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Now, let me find that one.
I sent it to I sent it to the Rowdy Boyz, the Rowdy Boyz chat. It's got Red Hood in it.
Oh, okay. I think I had. I got it. Yep, I got it right here. But here's my question, right? You do dioramas, right? But you're also a collector, right? You also do collecting, right? Now, and from what I know, you and your lady helps you out in this process, right? Does she help you
Absolutely.
paint? She helps you with the painting. She helps you with the packing. Does she help you with any of the like the details and stuff like that, like the ideas and stuff like that? Has she ever like given you like
Yeah. Oh
like an
yeah.
idea and you went with it?
Yeah. There's you know, sometimes it's big things, sometimes it's little things. She's like, oh, well, try this, or you know, what about this color, or what about something shaped like this? Sometimes it's like little things, and I'm like, that's brilliant. So she helps all the time. I could not do this without her. And I'm not like trying to blow it up just because she's on here. I mean, she does.
Blow
she's
it up, man. Blow it
she's
up. Go ahead.
I will tell you, man, she is incredibly talented herself. Her drawings, her photography, there, dude, you should see the stuff she started. She's been getting into baking and like making these elaborate cakes with decorations and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dude, for my birthday, she made me this 3-tiered Spider-Man cake, and it had like the top one was like decorated like Spider-Man. The middle ones were like a building with like windows and stuff, and it was amazing. And she keeps doing it. And now she's doing it for all kinds of people, and she keeps getting better and better. Like all those videos where you see somebody like do a cake on Instagram or on Reels, and you're like, that's insane. It doesn't even look like a cake. She's doing that, and she'll be like, nah, it sucks, because she's like the rest of us. But she's extremely talented.
I have a question for the suit cache, the suit display, because it's got the base for it that it sits on. I don't know. I want to know if this was an intentional design or if this was kind of like, as Bob Ross would say, like a happy accident. But like I don't know how many Batman comics you read or any of the shows, like the cartoon shows or anything like that. But a lot of the time, Batman's like suit cache, it will come like out of the floor or out of the ceiling. And being as the base is separate from like the actual tube, like I already have had an idea of like a sequence of shots where I can have that base that it sits on the ground, and then like him hitting a control on the board, and then the next one is it coming up out of the thing with the suit in it.
That's badass. No, that's definitely a happy accident.
I have the elevator right here. Is that it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So elevator. That's with the elevator door open. So on that one side of the wall, there's the hole there, and the elevator is completely separate. It's a completely separate piece to this.
Yeah.
That it looks like an elevator interior. It's again way more than I was expecting, way more than I was asking for. But then there's also a door that's got the bat symbol on it. So like if the elevator's closed, nobody's coming through it.
And I wanted to do that way because that way you could shoot through the opening to get like a longer shot toward the other stuff, to make it like look, like get just a different angle and stuff like that. And that was what I was trying to get with it and stay within your like, within the size limitations. Like, cause like I said, like in my head, I was like, all right, we're going big, and I was,
and these pictures don't really do justice just to how big this is.
Yeah.
And like I said, the box was huge.
Yeah. Cause it's 24
when you take
inches.
it apart, when I took it apart and had it stacked up, because as I was putting it together, my wife, as I'm saying, oh my God, I can't afford this. My wife I know she's looking at this going like, where are you keeping that? Like, where is that going? And then when I took it down and got it all stacked up, nice and neat and organized, and I had it up on the cabinet where the rest of my Dio stuff is, like I didn't even have to move much out of the way to be able to put this in. I was like, it only took up like I think like a 12 by 12 type section. It was like, and stacked.
Yeah.
And that
was what I was trying to.
This man thought of everything.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember when the last time I was on, you guys were asking me like, what's the hardest part? And I was like, it's the engineering. It's not the design, it's not the carving, it's the painting, it's the engineering. Like I could, you can make something super cool, but if you can't take it apart and like ship it to somebody or take it somewhere or put it away, it's you know, it's kind of hard to like to have it, you know. So
Yeah.
every time I do something, that's part of like, even when I'm drawing something up, I'm like, okay, how am I going to make this to come apart? You know, which pieces are going to be sections, which pieces are going to be, how thick are they going to be? How is this going to lay?
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to fit in a box? You know, all those things definitely come into play like right from the start. On even yours, man, when I was packing it up, I was like, oh no. I figured it out to fit in this box like ahead of time, and it's gonna fit. Damn it, you know.
I think that's what my wife was thinking too. Is she's looking at it put together, and then she's looking at the box that it came in. She's thinking like, "Where are you keeping this thing?" But like I said, when you know you had it packed in there, so you had it in a big box, so there was room, and bubble wrap, and there was no way for things to get damaged. Which there was nothing at all damaged on this, which was like that's a blessing in itself, because it is foam. Like that's I don't know if anybody else uses foam, but like foam's pretty brittle. It can break pretty easily. Like you look at foam the wrong way and it'll break. But this thing not broken, no nothing on it damaged.
No,
so she's looking at the box, she's looking at it put together, and she's thinking, where are you putting it? And then as I take it apart and I get it stacked up and I got it up on the cabinet, I'm like, right there's where I'm putting it. Until we get the rest of this shit figured out, so I can leave it set up all the time.
And if you think about it, he actually like sets you up for good, right? Like he has like a plan B. He gives you your plan A and your plan B, right? Where the plan A is the actual dial and the size, and then he gives you a big box. And then the big box, one could, like, for example, like if you spend whatever and you weren't supposed to, you have a nice dial, but then now you have a big box where you can put your stuff in case he kicks you out. It works. Now, what did
very considerate man.
A very considerate man. So now, what did you do with your box of Worthy? I can tell you what I did with mine.
I still have the box. I haven't broke it down the rest of the way yet. I got all the bubble wrap and stuff in there because I don't know. I'm OCD about the bubble wrap. I save bubble wrap because I also send out a lot of stuff. So I don't ever get rid of bubble wrap. That's like the need box for other things.
Believe it or not, the box that I had my kids, and my 3-year-old was inside the box. Kids in boxes. She was in there. She was like rolling around in the box. Oh no, get the hell out of the box. I need that box. So now, currently right now I have like the dial itself that I have. I still have it built. I haven't touched it. I'll leave it just as is. But like currently right there, like I keep a lot of like some of the accessories. Like Jedi Jack also makes awesome tree trunks. Like he made me, that was the first thing he ever made me, was the trees. Like I keep my trees in there and I keep some of my accessories in there. So anytime I need to go and I'm setting up a shot, I can always go to the box and get all the accessories and all that stuff now. But hey, thank you. But like yeah, there you go. Let's yep, those are the tree trunks right there. If anybody ever wants tree trunks, they're fucking amazing. Detailed.
These ones I've been trying to like even improve upon from even what I did for you, because I'm always trying to, like, with anything I redo, I try to like, how can I make it better? How can I make it a little bit more useful? And like these are kind of like mine, and I use for like setting up or like testing for how it works and what I can make better for somebody else. But
I like how when you're like, you're kind of leaving me in suspense here, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is amazing. I just forgot. I'm so carried away right now with this that I forgot.
Well, because in my head,
I forgot to tell you anything.
You're just like kicking the box down the street, like this asshole.
So as I'm texting you again, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm texting you, it's amazing, it's perfect, I love it, this is great, and then I'm like, and I'm still like setting stuff up, and I'm looking, setting up different shot ideas, and I'm looking at it, and I turned it, and I was like you said, I turned it the one way, and I had the door out of the elevator so I could shoot in from the side, and I was like, I already can see how I'm going to have like the Batmobile off to the open side over here. And I'm going to get like a Tyrannosaurus Rex because Batman has a T-Rex in his Batcave because he's fucking Batman. Why wouldn't he? And that's when you're like, I have ideas for like more tiers. And I'm like, I'm not having anybody do anything else for me. So
no,
I'm glad.
Now, are you planning on getting the T-Rex?
I'm like,
I'm gonna need another house. That's what I'm gonna need. I just need to buy a bigger house because I need a whole room for my fucking Jedi Jack Batcave diorama.
Yes.
If he says he's got 3 tiers, I bet he can do 6. We can have this whole fucking bedroom
Jesus Christ.
full of Batcaves.
Staircases and levels and you know.
Jedi Jack put down the huge wood. Yeah. Yes, he does. It's Krypton.
Yeah.
That'll be a listen. That would be an awesome dial too. Like, did you ever think about doing like the Fortress of Solitude as a diorama?
I didn't until just about like 10 minutes ago. You guys were talking about something. I was like, "Ooh, a Fortress of Solitude would be kind of cool." You know,
I had purchased at not Legion at ChrisCon. I had bought the Mesco Man of Steel Superman, and I got it for a good price. No Chewin actually was the one that kind of talked the guy down. It was like for $100. He talked it down for $80. So when I went over there, the guy was like, "It's $80 now." So I kind of just like, you know, I don't know what's going on here, but but hey,
oh yes,
maybe
you do. You know exactly what's going
on.
on.
Listen, Emily, if you weren't on the flight, I'll probably send you a link. It was like, jump on this live. But dude, yeah, you fucking kill it, dude. Like every like you don't again. There's not
I
a
can't
time
tell you
where
enough how much I love this dial, and I feel a bit ashamed that I haven't been able to post any pictures of this thing yet. But trust me, it's gonna be. You're gonna end up saying, "Would you stop fucking tagging me and everything?" Because I've got a million shots. I was looking at the No Justice collabs that I do. I was looking at all the themes going up. I was like, I can make a shot with this Batcave in every single one of them, even nothing to do with Batman. I can make this work. This is going to be my go-to.
Good. That's what I wanted you to be able to do with it. You know, is not have it be not just Batman. Like that's why wanted the flip-sided floor so you could do different stuff and change it up. And speaking of collabs, one your No Justice collab, dude, that thing is blowing up. And kudos to you, man. And you guys have been killing the shots. And Danny, I'm glad that every once in a while you've been dropping some gems out there. Finally, I was a little worried that did you forget how to use your camera or something?
No. Honestly, like there's times where if anybody doesn't know, and Unworthy will be a good witness. Like there's times where it's not that I get bored, but I can never sit long enough to have a conversation about toys. I can't do it. Like I start thinking about like vaginas and all this stuff that's important, stuff that brings like it brings joy to your life, right? Well, not that toys don't. It's just like honestly, I can't just like my thing is like there's times where I have these like mental blocks where I can't think of anything to shoot, or there's something going on. Like,
and that's when I step in and I bully him. I'm like,
he bullies the shit out of me.
Do a shot.
Do a shot.
The last 2 No Justice collabs that he's done, I was like, if you've got them, you've got toys for this. Go fucking dig them out and take a picture.
Like, and I agree with you. His No Justice collabs have been dope. I actually popped open that Harley Quinn hot toy just to do that collab because I was like, the minute he said the bad girls, I was like, I got to do this collab. I got to open this hot toy. And I was like telling him about it. I was like, dude, I was like so scared about this shit. But like, so scared to pull this shit out. But like, yeah, no. With me, it's more like when I have ideas, like I have to get inspired by something to kind
keep talking.
Do it. Okay. So like I have to be inspired to do something, right? I have to be inspired to like take photos, right? Like everybody that's in the chat, I know you guys hopefully you guys are still here with us, but like you guys, for all you guys that take photos, like what inspires you, right? To take a photo. Me, I have to watch a movie, or I'm going through like maybe looking at old like movie stills or movie posters. I'm a big movie poster person, so like that's where I gain my inspiration. And where do you get your inspirations for your like DC shots? Because I feel like I kind of feel I'm a little angry. Well, okay, fair enough. But I'm a little angry with McFarlane because I feel like you've been pumping out so many great fucking photos and he's not showing you any love, and I'm getting upset about that.
I don't worry about it.
I worry about it. You don't have to worry about it, but I worry about it because I feel like your shots have not only been phenomenal.
Yes.
Unboxing art. What's up, buddy? they are not only been phenomenal, but you have put in so much work into the stuff that you do, right? And like anytime I see like McFarlane Toys official post somebody else, I mean, yeah, granted, whoever it is, congratulations. But I need to see
Shout
a
out
fucking
Unhuman. Unhuman just got a feature from
yeah.
McFarlane, and I
Shout
was
out,
fucking
yes.
pumped.
Yes, shout out to Unhuman because Unhuman takes some awesome photos. But I, you know what I'm saying? Like, what inspires you to make these shots? Like, what do you watch? Do you watch anything? Is it porn?
Well, I watch a lot of Bluey. I watch a lot of Kid City, PJ Masks. I watch basically whatever my kids want to watch. That's what's usually
That's
on.
true.
And if I'm not already doing something while they're watching TV, I read a lot of comic books still. I do a lot of my inspiration comes from reading the comics, but also, as Unboxing Art said, I get inspired from seeing some other people's stuff that they've done, and I try, like, if I do something that I don't want to say rip off, but like if I'm inspired by somebody's shot and like I am specifically moved to try to do a shot similar, like I try to tag them and be like, shout out to so and so for the the inspiration. But honestly, I have the hardest time doing my own collabs because like the themes. Originally, I was kind of setting up the themes for like ideas that I had that I was like, oh, I want to do a shot about this. I ought to see if I can get anybody who want to do a collab with it. But now I have a harder time with doing those because I'm always doing the behind the scenes stuff for these collabs, with like the reels, the graphics, and the collages and stuff. I do all of the music editing now too, like the reel that I just dropped yesterday for the Bad Girls. Like I took 3 songs and chopped them and mashed them all together to make that song. So like I'm doing a lot of stuff for that I get. It's hard for me to get motivated to do shots for those. But then I see people's shots and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to try doing something. I want to try doing something like that. I want to try. And sometimes it's not even the figure. Sometimes it's just like the dynamic angles somebody uses, or the way that they frame a shot. Clintastic 4, he's running his mouth in the chat, but like a lot of the times his shots inspire me, not because he's using X-Men, but because of like the dynamic angles or the extra, or I want to say like the frills, or the frills that go into it. Like it inspires me. I'm like, something like this would look really cool if it was something like this. And then from there I spiral and I spend like 4 hours setting up one set of characters or one character, and I took like 50 pictures of this one character trying to get this one shot, and then I've got one shot out of 50 and then 49 are wasted, but I've enjoyed doing the whole thing, and it's like a lesson learned type thing, like I know how to learn where to put the lights and but yes, most of my inspiration comes from looking at other people's shots.
Well, that's what you just said on Worthy is like a perfect segue into my shameless plug here for myself.
No shameless plug here. Go ahead, plug yourself all the way.
Is I know you guys have seen it. You know, about a month ago now, I started the Hell's Kitchen collab, and what I originally intended to do, and we're keeping at it, was how to make my collab different, than everybody else's. And one of the things that we're doing is it centers around Daredevil. Okay, there's a character, but each week, not only is it like a specific thing, but attacking specific points of photography. This way, we get guys that are like, maybe not so good at one point of it, but then they can work in the chat for that whole week, drop some ideas like, hey, I'm doing this, and you get 20 other guys going, that's good, but move it like this, change this, and with what we're getting is I got, I think 26, 27 people in that right now. We got guys that are like getting better and learning things every week. And then their shots are getting better, not only in the collab, but every other shot that they're doing, because they're like, oh, I learned how to do this because we worked on this, and I'm having a great time with it because there's guys that'll even message me on the side going, dude, I'm having trouble, with this shot. This doing a shot like this is my weak point. I'm like, that's exactly why we're doing it. I don't want you to turn out. I mean, I want you to turn out something good, but I want you to work on it because it's so easy for all of us to just go do the thing that you're good at and and just like stick there. But you don't improve if you don't try new things or try to learn new things. And some of the guys, being guys or just being, an artist at all, you tend to get shy to be critiqued. And sometimes you have to like open yourself up to do that and have somebody go, dude, here, try this. You're on the right path, make a little adjustment here. And, sometimes like somebody would throw something up and somebody would be just like, dude, it's a good shot, but crop it, crop it. And all of a sudden they crop it and they go, wow, now it's amazing. I liked it before, but now it's really good. And I'm like, yeah, you change the whole dynamics of your photo, just by doing something simple. But if we're not working all in the same thing, but anyway, the Hell's Kitchen Daredevil collab, we're doing week to week. Every week they get an assignment. This is what we're doing. We're doing like the very first one was very first week was portraits. You could use anything you want, Daredevil related, but it's got to be a portrait shot. And I had guys message me on the side going, dude, I suck at portraits. I said, I know I suck at portraits. That's why I made it the first one, because I need to work on it. I need to get better. And then we had the last one we did 2 weeks ago was using a single light source, and that's challenging, and for some guys it was like really, really, really tough to do. They're like, man, lighting is not my strong suit. And I'm like, good. Here, you got something to practice. Here, you got something to work on to get better at. And, and it's going to bleed over into everything else that you shoot because you learned a new skill. You worked on one thing all week long on just that. And you can take that in and use it on your other stuff.
That's true. That's true.
But
now here's a question. How much effort do you put into, because I find myself putting more effort sometimes into some of these photos than I do anything else in life.
Oh yeah.
For example, right? Bill, if Bill's in the chat, Bill will probably. So like when I take photos, I put more effort into that than my own job sometimes. I'm
sure your employers love to hear that.
Oh, they love it. I would tell them I will say the same thing to them. I don't have a filter. I would definitely say the same thing, but I do. Sometimes I will take a photo and I won't edit it until I go to work. And like on my way to work, knowing that I'm supposed to be probably doing something important, I'm like, I really need to edit this photo. so I'm at fucking work editing photos and shit like that. That's when I
edit all my photos at work.
You know what it is? Listen, we're grown men who love toys, but also love to take photos, right? We're not all. I don't find myself to be a professional. Hi, Bill. I'm glad you're still there. But yeah, we I don't find myself to be a professional. I wouldn't call myself an amateur because everybody learns at their own pace and they have their own skills and their own unique styles. And that's one of the beautiful things about, toy photography or even hobbies itself, right? It's beautiful to know that people do things or like things that are different from other people, right? So, but that comes with the passion of what you like, right? Just, the effort that you put into it, right? And like, how many of us can honestly say there are people who really love their jobs. I'm not one of them. And I can say that I really don't like my job. I'm there because I need to be there. I like Bill. Bill, I like you. I do like Bill, but I don't like my job. But
that's why all your shots look so good is because Bill's giving you fucking input.
Bill's the guy.
Bill, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna hit you up on here. I'm gonna send you my number. I need some help with some lighting.
Bill's the man giving me all the fucking ideas, man. Now, here's my final question, right? Toy photography.
Well, you just asked one and you didn't give us a chance to answer it.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think your question was, is there anything else that we try harder at? Is that how you were saying? Is there anything that we spend more time thinking about?
No, is there anything? Is there anything that you spend less on that you know that you should be spending a little more time on, but you put in more into it, toy photography than anything? Like, you know what I mean? Me,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Oh
I
yeah,
do my
definitely
job
my
well.
lawn. My lawn, definitely. I do not spend
So
enough
long.
time cutting my grass because like I live next door to my grandfather. My grandfather
Okay.
is very, very uh I don't want to say anal retentive because it sounds rude, but like
Meticulous.
he has got to have his yard looking a certain way because people who
Okay.
drive by look at his lawn and say, "That's a nice lawn." So I live right next door to him. Like he's pretty much my only neighbor. Like it's me and my grandfather, and then like you got to go some miles before you get another neighbor. Um, and there'll be times when I'll mow my lawn on the weekend, and then I'll spend the rest of the weekend taking pictures or working on
Okay.
other stuff as far as
Mm-hmm.
the photography goes. And
Mm-hmm.
then like halfway through the week, I'll come home from work. I'll be setting up doing something for pictures before the kids get
Mm-hmm.
home, and I'll hear a lawnmower, and I'm like, "That's in my yard." And I'll look out, and my grandfather's out in my yard mowing my lawn because his grass he just mowed his, and like he can't
Mm-hmm.
have people driving by and seeing high grass, perfect grass. So he'll come over and he'll mow my lawn. So I that's definitely one thing that I do not pay enough attention to because of toy photography. I don't cut my grass like I
I
should.
love I love how we always go to work or even like talk to like you ever talk to have you guys ever spoken to anybody about the toy photography or collecting? I think Bill is probably like one of the people I talk to about it the most. But I've had conversations with folks where I like try to show them my photos and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I try to explain to them and it's like they give me this look like, "Okay."
Okay,
like
man,
but
baby.
I make but I make it sound like it yeah, like right? Like you fucking
Actually,
weirdo.
there's a kid that works with me that he follows us. He follows our page. He's subscribed to our
Really?
YouTube. He watches it
Really?
every now and then. He watches live. He doesn't really get in the chat, but when him and I are working together, he'll mention the show, and he'll
Oh,
mention that he follows us on this. Well, he follows me on Instagram. I don't know if he follows you, but he'll talk.
probably
He'll
not.
he'll mention
I'm less
he'll mention a
I'm less
shot that I've
famous.
done.
I'm not
I
as
remember when
famous
I
as you
got
are.
I got my Batmobile, and I when he was working with me for 1 week because his van was down, so he was riding around with me, and he had mentioned, or I was talking to him that I was like, oh man, I got this Batmobile coming this week. I can't wait for this Batmobile. And then it came, and I'm like, dude, I got my fucking Batmobile, and I'm telling him all about it. And then it was a couple weeks went by, and then he was working with me again, and he's like, didn't you get that Batmobile? And I'm like, yeah, I got that fucking Batmobile. Yeah, yeah, I got the Batmobile. And he's like, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen you post any pictures of it yet. And I was like, my
That's
man, you're
cool,
fucking
dude.
looking at my work.
No,
We work
that
together, and
is
you're
good.
looking at my photos. That's cool,
That's
man.
cool, man. I
No,
think Bill's that for me. Bill's just he loves the show. And he's always looking forward. Like I think he's a fan of Jedi Jack more though. I think he likes Jedi Jack way more because even today, like I saw him, he said something about the stash. I was like, he's talking about Jedi Jack. Jedi
yeah,
Jack, to you, it's more of like to you, it kind of is like a job, right? Like not a job, but to you, it's more like you
Well,
do these
don't treat it like a
dials.
job ever. I hope.
No, ever,
no, not,
right? So how is it for
it's
you? Like,
it's a passion, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like the photography thing started just like everybody else, man. And you're like, I don't know, this kind of looks cool, man. And you try it, and like Vico said, dude, it's my escape time. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
think about everything else. Like it's my time. Like I'm in my own world, and I'm happy there.
mm-hmm,
Like that little world I'm creating where I'm setting up a
Mm-hmm.
diodes or
Mm-hmm.
makeshift diodes and setting up a shot. I
mm-hmm.
love that world,
Yeah,
and it's fun and it's cool because like I get to visit it, and I don't think about nothing else except what I'm doing, and then I
mm-hmm.
get to walk away from it, and there's nothing bad coming with me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad that I like. The only time you feel bad is where you're like, shit, every shot I took sucked. You know, that's the only time where it's bad, where you're just like, I didn't get any good ones. I thought I had a couple cool ones in there, but this is out of focus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do that a lot with perspective. Like you said, like a lot of my stuff is closer up. So like the background is kind of crucial because like if you are taking a closer up picture, it doesn't matter how good the figure looks. If the background, like you can see your fucking spice rack in the back, it's like it kind of blows it away. Even if it's grainy and you got to focus to see what it is.
If you see all your
like,
dildos
you know
in
what
the
it
back,
is.
please.
Yeah. So I'll do that when especially if I'm doing closer up portrait shots. I'm like, if I don't, I get anal retentive about what's going on behind when I'm doing my close up portrait shots. Cause I was like, I know that it's the focus blurring, like you're not really going to see, but God damn it, I'm going to know that's my dildo rack behind me.
Exactly, right?
And I don't want people, I don't want other people to know that that's what it is behind there.
Right? You try to blur it out as much as you can.
Why is he posting pictures of his dildo rack? You know,
mind your business. Right? It's my dildo rack.
As like Batman is swinging on one of them, he's like one of those shits. Oh my goodness!
Actually, you know what? That gives me a perfect idea. Instead of a T-Rex, maybe I'll do a dildo in the back, and Batman's going like, I don't know, it was a weird criminal.
Oh dude, my god, that's a perfect thing though. Like, I mean, that's the beauty of like what we do and enjoy, right? Is like to be able to escape to that little thing and like look at the details that you want to look at. You know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes you'll post a pic or like you'll keep a pic that you're just like, nah, this one kind of sucks, but whatever. I don't have anything else, and I feel like I need to post something. And everybody's like, dude, this is great, and you're like, this sucks. Like, I hated it, and I only put it on because I didn't have anything else. As a perfect example, my shot today that I posted and yesterday. Everybody's like, whoa, these are great. That's fantastic. I'm like, those were 5-minute shots, both of them, because I've just been like, slump of like, I'm not feeling creative. It just, nothing was clicking, and everybody's just like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, I'm glad you love it, man, because I think it's garbage, but all right, But
that's where you need a good sound off guy. I've got Danny's a good sound off guy, but my go-to is Clintastic usually. If I'm not happy with what I've done and I was like so amped up, I was like, this is going to be good. This is going to be a great shot. And then I look at them all. I'm like, well, these are all horse shit. None of these are any good. I'll try to pick a couple that are good and I'll send them to Clint. And I'm like, can you believe this bullshit that I've done? And he always says, and I quote, stop acting like a dildo. No, he doesn't really say that. He'll say, these are good. What are you worried about?
I agree.
It, crop it, tilt it. And he's good on the perspective blurring and stuff like that. He's like and he knows I'm colorblind too. Like, so he's got, when I send him something, he usually is looking out for. My wife helps me out with that a bit, but like he's looking out for. Oh man, this is really jarring. Like the color difference going on here is really jarring, and I know you can't see it, but fix that shit.
There's Bill and Emily going back and forth. Like,
they got a whole their own show.
They got their own show going. We might have to get those two on. But honestly, like I agree with Unworthy. Like Clint is definitely the guy. Like, if I could go to and like even ask, because he just has his eye for like photography and just shots. Like definitely has an eye for stuff like that. But one of the people that I will say definitely who's inspired all my photography is Zombie Clown Photography. That dude is fucking amazing. I always say he's great, and he inspires a lot of, again, because I have the portrait style shots. That's what I do.
You're great at it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So,
and you're sorry, go ahead. No, I was gonna say, Jedi Jack, like I know you said that, those were like 5-minute shots, but again, sometimes it's not to you, it may not seem, because we're always going to be our toughest critics, right?
Right.
But like to other people, right, who are either starting or even like thinking of an idea and they really can't, like sometimes photos, whatever you think is 5 minutes, it wasn't, that's not really shit, because I've been there. To somebody else, it's like, man, I got inspired by that photo. Like that photo really like sparked something to me. Like I'm ready to do like a Daredevil shot too. Like it sparks things in people. So like, you know,
what I've started to think of is like when I get that kind of feedback, it also tells me that maybe I'm improving on some other skills too. Like no matter what, even if I wasn't really happy with the photo, I must have made a decent photo. You know what I mean? So you think back to like, you know, when you started your first shots, you know, you didn't understand lighting or posing or angle.
I fucking sucked.
Right? Yeah, it was terrible, you know? And, you know, and then when you start to learn it, you know, even though you're like, it's kind of boring, you know? Nothing's really moving. But somebody else sees it and goes, man, the lighting on this is so cool and it looks, you know, really good. And then instead of taking it as negative and thinking about your negative stuff, take that feedback as positive, going, okay, well, I'm still, you know, building my skills, you know, even though I don't like it, you know, somebody else sees something that they positively like. And like soundboard, like I use Emily for everything because I mean, she went to school on a photography scholarship. So, and she'll take pictures of sunset and she'll just be like, hey, look. And I'm like, that looks like a freaking poster, you know. It's just like she's has an incredible eye for stuff, and I'll send her stuff, you know, and she's like, "This one's pretty good, you know, but this one's better, you know." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, well, we're rolling with the better one then."
That's true.
And, so yeah, it always helps to have that soundboard, and then I think that's what helps with the collaborations, man. That's what I was saying, is like having those chats and just having, you know, when you're working on something, throw it out to 20 guys that are doing the same things you guys are doing and let them critique it and go, hey, you know, this is really cool. You know, because you'll have some guys will be like, it's perfect. And other guys will be like, I think you can do better, you know, or change this or lower your lighting just, you know, a little bit, or change the angle of this a little bit. And
the only thing I would say is if you are easily offended or like you take criticism to heart, don't do that. But like if you can, you know, if you can approach it with some humility or you know, open mind, you know, because everything we do, everything I do, at least when I'm setting up and I'm shooting, I'm like, man, this is going to be fucking awesome. This is going to be the best picture. This is going to be the one that blows my name all the way up. And then sometimes I post ones and I'm like, this is the one that's going to make me, you know, get me on more people's radar. And like, it gets zero interaction. It gets, and it's like, okay, so we're our own worst critic, but we're our own best cheerleader. So you need to be able to take advice from people. That is like, this is good, but you could have done it a little bit differently. Like PL Toybox, he's great for that. Like he won't criticize your picture unless he's telling you a way that you could have done just one or two minor things different in order to make this shot that you did even better. Like he's not just gonna say this is horse shit, get it out of here. And so like that's how I always approach it. So when people give me the honest feedback too, if somebody's just gonna tell me this is terrible, and then offer no reason or any advice on how it could be better,
and you're perfectly right, and that's probably the main reason why I try to do like different stuff. Like if you look at my page, at least I feel that not too many of my photos look the same because I'm always trying something different, like whether it's a different color palette or a different angle or something. What the hell was that up there? I don't know. Darkness.
It was a dildo.
I think it was. And
it was a Batman dildo.
But you know, that's why like I'm in like a myth and fantasy collab that post Mondays, and there's a lot of guys from like Indonesia and Malaysia and stuff that are in that collab, and you know, that kind of stuff is like the toy photography over there is huge. Like they're, you know, it's not quite as it's not looked at as like a nerd culture as it is here in the US. You know, over there it's everybody loves it. And some of those guys are freaking phenomenal in what they do. Their photos are just blow me away. Yeah. And I love being part of that collab because they inspire me, and I learn so many things from them all the time. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen some of those guys' stuff, but man, they are ridiculous. If you ever want to like see some of it, pull up that like hashtag Myth and Fantasy toy pick. It's that page is just unbelievable. Some of those guys from like the Philippines and stuff are just ridiculously talented. And you know, and then when they do, you know, and like lately a lot of them have been, you know, hot on the Myth and Fantasy kind of stuff. But then you can do like a Batman or a Spider-Man or something, and it's just equally as good. And it's just like, holy crap, these guys are just like on a different level than us. And I think it's just because they've been doing it a little bit longer to us, you know. And I agree. We got some catching up to do, but you know, I think the collaborations are always such a good thing because it allows you to be in a group of like collective minds, and like and like Unworthy said, man, you got to have some thick skin if you're going to do this. Like take some criticism and use it to your advantage, because you're only going to get better. Nobody's, unless they're a big dick, then just blow them off, you know. But
and unfortunately there are a lot that are like that. Like if you can't,
I will tell you right now, there's one guy who I will not follow. I will never like any of his photos because I've seen how he treated some people, and I don't care how good his stuff is, he's a fucking asshole.
You're a fucking asshole, whoever you are.
Yeah,
Mr.
whoever
Lee,
you are.
There you go, Mr. Lee. Fuck you.
Yeah, we'll name names. Fuck you, Mr. Lee. I don't even know who you are.
I don't care how good his stuff
anyway.
is. I don't care. His shots are really good. The guy's talented. But the way he treated people who asked him simple questions like, hey, you know, how did you do that? And he's like, well, you'll never be as good as me because I spent too much time doing this. I was like, fuck you. You're just some asshole taking pictures of toys like the rest of us. You know, don't treat people like that, you know? So anyway, sorry.
There's a lot of them like that. Like if you can't handle criticism, or especially if it's constructive criticism, if you can't handle it, don't fucking ask for it.
No, don't ask.
Because I could think of an account too that had asked me, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? And when I offer that advice, well, you know, it turns out you don't really know what you're talking about. It's like, well, why did you ask me? Why'd you ask me? I must know a little bit because you asked me.
And you're only trying to help. Like, I'm giving you what I know. If you're asking me, hey, Dead Man, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Dead Man?
You know, I'm giving you what I know, only what I picked up along the way. You know, and if what I'm telling you doesn't make sense, maybe ask somebody else to help you. But don't quit. Like, use that constructive criticism even when you don't like it. You know, maybe there's something there that, you know, usually the stuff that offends you the most is probably true. Yeah. You know,
and just to kind of piggyback on that too, like I remember kind of asking my ex-wife, you know, some you kind of know where this is going. You know, I kind of remember asking her for some feedback, and you know, asking her, you know, how did she think of my performance? And she always would say, "I'll give you an E for effort, but it could have been better."
She's like, I'll give you 3 stars. And you're like, out of 5, that ain't bad. She's like, no, out of 12.
Oh, man.
Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, baby.
This is a perfect segue to do some plugs. We're at the portion of our show where we're going to do some plugs. And let me start off with the most important plug right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not following Jedi_Jack 2019, please do so right now. This is his page. Awesome, as you guys can see, awesome guy, talented guy. He's a jack of all trades. Amazing dials, great toy photography. He does some cosplay. He, he's about the community. He's supportive. Just a well-rounded, amazing person. And if you guys are not following, go do so right after the show. Go check him out. Go show him some love because, again, he's our fucking homie and we love him. And if you're not following him, like Unworthy said, fuck you. Shame on you that you're not following you. And I hope that
follow me. If you're not following him, go unfollow me, please.
I hope you.
And if nothing else, check out the Hell's Kitchen Daredevil collaboration on Tuesdays, because all the guys that are being part of that and dropping photos, they are working their asses off for those every single week. Those guys put in a lot of work, and they deserve some credit and support.
Absolutely. So please go check out Jedi Jack's page. It is phenomenal. He's an amazing guy. And go and listen, if you got an idea and you want to dial, hit him up. Hit him up. Let him. My advice is let him do his thing. You will not be disappointed.
Do what I did. Well, no, don't do what I did. That stressed him out.
Do it. Just let him roam free because he's fucking phenomenal. Next plug that I'm gonna plug is Black and Wednesdays is back. It started this week. Thank you so much for everybody who's participated. Again, Black and Wednesdays is definitely my baby. You guys have made it as special as it is. It has, again, it's something that started off as a silly little idea and it becomes something where people actually really enjoy. And I think what I enjoy the most about Black and Wednesdays is the level of support everybody gives each other, right? Because we're all in this together and it's a fun challenge, collab, whatever you want to call it. But again, I love to see everyone just show everybody love and support. And again, it's perfect example. And if you don't have any ideas or you have one of those blocks where you can't think of anything, this is a perfect kind of thing to do. Again, black and white shot, any line of figures. Just add a splash of purple. It could be a purple lighting, purple accessory, purple figure, purple dildo. I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. Use whatever you like. Just make sure you use the hashtag TA_Black and Wednesdays and tag me and the A Worthy Addiction page so I can show your photo some love. Please use that hashtag because there are times where you guys put photos and I'm like searching for you. I'm literally looking for you. I'll see photos like on stories and I'm looking for you. So please use the hashtag. Please tag me, tag the A Worthy Addiction page if you forgot to, because I want to show your photo some love. I don't care who you are. Who you are. And again, this is not this is for fun. Again, because this is what all these collabs and this hobby was always meant to be, is for fun.
And I'll tell you, Danny, that people love that. I don't know if you realize that, but the Black and Wednesdays, everybody loves that because it's fun and simple enough where you can just even if you just do the 5-minute photo, you can throw something up to be part of it, you know. And
even I agree. And again, that's what it was always meant to be. It was always meant to be just to bring people together. You know how many new accounts and new people I've met through Black and Wednesdays. And again, it started off as something silly. And, again, and I'm very happy about it. And also next month, Black and Wednesdays is not taking a break because next month, Black and Wednesdays turns a year old. My baby's going to turn 1 year old. So we're going to have a big old celebration.
Black and orange?
We don't know.
We
don't know yet.
October.
We don't know.
I know.
Hey, it could be whatever. Listen, but we're excited I'm excited.
No, I won't. Never mind. I was gonna say, can I give a spoiler? But I won't do it. I'm bad. You could
give well, definitely keep a lookout for that because again, we're gonna be having a big show, big celebration about it. We're gonna have all people who have participated, all guests. You might see this handsome gentleman back on the show because we're gonna have this big old celebration giveaway. So a lot of great things coming up with Black and Wednesdays for next month. Is it's spooky season. That's my time. That's my season. I love spooky season. So what better way?
You want to have me back? We'll do a giveaway. I got some stuff I'll give away.
Listen, I can't say anything. I would never be the one to ask. If you feel in your heart,
he won't ask anybody to do a giveaway except me. Guaranteed.
I can either do maybe do some cool figures, or maybe we do a dio.
Oh,
You guys are heard
that's a
it
lot to
first.
ask, Adia.
That is
We
a
won't
lot to
turn you
ask.
down, but that's a lot to
We won't
ask.
turn you down because we always talk about giving back. So you guys heard it first. But next month, Jedi Jack is offering figures or maybe a dial for as a giveaway for Black and Wednesday year celebration. So stay tuned. We'll see.
Stay tuned.
And this guy's collab.
Yes.
Yeah. So today was UC No Justice, Bad Girls, and at my last count, 42 collaborators on it.
Dude, that's freaking
badass.
awesome.
Happy to have it, and really, it started off all by word of mouth. So I'm so happy to have had so many people jump on these.
They were talking about that on the pick bar last night too, dude.
Yeah.
It really has started. It started off with I had an idea. Like I said before, sometimes I set my collabs up based on an idea I had for a shot. So it started as an idea, and I was like, well, I know this guy or this person, they've got these figures too. I wonder if they want to make this a collab. And it has turned into a bi-weekly No Justice collab with rotating themes. This week was Bad Girls, and it was 42 people, amazing shots. Go check out my page. I posted mine. Danny posted his. Go check out. I have not been able to get on and share everybody's because I have really terrible internet, and my internet is down. Or cell service. I have terrible cell service, and my internet's down because I've not had power for the last going on 5 hours now. So I got to catch up with all that. But yeah, 42 people at my last count, and in 2 weeks it is No Justice Steel Breakers, which is Superman villains, or it doesn't actually have to be Superman villains. It's anybody taking Superman down, basically.
Well, I won't be part of that one. I'm kidding. No, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, they've been a lot of fun. I've been, like I said, I've been very blessed to have so many people jumping on these and having interest, and the feedback from everybody on how I could change things or how I could do things a little different, how I can do things a little bit better. I'm working on all of that still because this has turned into something without the expectation of it turning into something. It started out as just kind of a idea that I was running with, and now it's turned into this thing. So I'm trying to keep it as this thing for everybody to keep enjoying and keep being creative. And so thank you to everybody. I don't have enough time to shout all 42 people out, but like I said, you can go to my page and check it all out. And for all of the upcoming collabs and the schedule, all of the information, you go to my page, go to the broadcast channel, the No Justice Collabs broadcast channel. I post in there regularly the schedule. I post in there when you should have your shots by if you want to be a part of the teaser reel. If you want to just be a part of the collab, you know, have your shots in. You know, I have it all set up. There's different levels. Like there's the teaser trailers, there's the collab with the collage, and then if you just want to do it without being in the collage and without being in the write-up, just use the hashtag UC_NoJustice in your shots, and I will tag you and I will put you in the reels anyway because I like supporting people. So go follow the No Justice Collabs broadcast channel for all of the information for all the upcoming collabs.
Right there, man. You got, if you're new to this community or you haven't been taking part in stuff, we just gave you 3 collabs to be part of that are all going to help you and support you. This is, I don't care if you started yesterday with this. Like, just pick up your phone, pick up your camera, whatever you got, and take a photo and have fun and enjoy it. And Deadman, you anybody catch Deadman last night? Because I think he had such a great time on the pick bar that Winzilla, Deadman, Winzilla. So, you got a drink left. I think it's time to.
I'll drink my spit.
Now I don't have a drink left. That was for you, Wentz. That was for you, Zilla. Love you, brother.
Anybody that's new, please take part in any one of these collabs and just have some fun with it and learn some stuff and enjoy doing it. And there's the good definitely outweighs the bad in this community.
Absolutely.
And keep supporting each other.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you, Jedi Jack, you are one of the good, buddy. You are one of the good.
Absolutely.
So if you guys are looking for any toy related content or any extra shows that have to do with dial making, toy reviews, naughty shows like ours and the Hoodcast AF, go check out our link. Go check out our link tree. A bunch of shows, a bunch of stuff. We even have Chubsy Wubsy stores if you're looking to purchase some figures. Awesome store, awesome guy. Him and Mrs. Wubsies, go check them out as well. We have a whole list in our link trees, both in our bios on Worthies and myself, and also in the A Worthy Addiction page. We have a link tree with a bunch of stuff, a bunch of content for whatever you like. But other than that, I mean, I have a quote of the day.
I have a quote.
Well, go ahead, but I was gonna actually give my quote and give back to all of you guys because I was such an a-hole earlier.
All right, well, I want you to do your quote and then I'll do mine.
Fair enough. All right, so my quote, it's not gonna come from me. It's gonna come from none other than Calvin. Calvin, you there?
Oh, you know I am, you studly demon, you.
Okay. All right, Calvin, I felt really bad. Again, I still feel like we should have boundaries, but I felt really bad the way I treated you. And like I said, I'm really trying and I really
wants to make this work.
You love me and you know it.
Calvin, do you have a quote of the night for the A-Worthy Addiction?
My quote of the night is, these guys are the greatest dudes on the internet, and if you ain't down with a worthy addiction and the handsome as hell Jedi Jack, then you guys are fucking lost, and you should really catch up because these guys are phenomenal, and they're sexy too. By the way, Kevin, I'm waiting for my ride. It's been 45 minutes, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, this show's went on a little bit longer. I'll be there. I know how to get to Danny's house. Don't worry, I'll get you.
Jesus Christ, this butter's getting drawing all kinds of critters.
Well, Calvin, thank you for those kind words, Calvin. I appreciate you. And
you're welcome.
I'm glad
I love you, you bald son of a bitch.
Well, good night, Calvin.
Night.
Night. There you go. I gave back, right?
You did. And you're giving him a chance, and I'm happy to see that.
Not the chance he wants, but a chance.
I have two quotes now. The first one is "Let love work."
Okay.
All right, let love work. That's what you
got.
Let
love work.
It's gonna do.
And then my final quote of the night, as we kick off the show here, is since I have no power and I'm running off with a lantern, I thought this would be a perfect time to pay homage to our hero. Long live the king, and may God bless his soul. But the next time you see me, run.
With that being said,
wow.
Good night, beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button
Click that notification bell
for more content.